Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a story about what if Naruto is tired of being shunned by his classmates and villagers but finds a new life in the Anbu part 1. Before I start, please do support for more amazing content and comments for part 2. Do consider to subscribe my channel and share my video to your friends and check out the description as well. Let's start the video. One day after, Kakashi and Iruka saved Naruto. Hiruzen is contemplating on how to deal with Naruto. Lord Third, a new voice said. Hiruzen looks to the door to see Kakashi. He looks to the Jonin. Yes, what is it? Have any idea on what to do with Naruto? No, I haven't, he said with a blank expression. May I make a suggestion? What did you have in mind? Considering his status as a Jinchuriki and the destined from his classmates, I recommend Naruto is trained privately. Hiruzen took a few minutes to think it over. With a long drag from his pipe, this could help Naruto be an excellent ninja without the worry of being sold out again. What do you think? I suppose this could work, but who would train him? He said, already having someone in mind. Me, of course, said in a slightly demanding tone. Is it because you want to help the poor boy or make amends for not being there for your sensei's son? Both. Very well, I'll allow it. Bring Naruto here immediately. He wants Naruto to have as close to a normal childhood. But this could be good for the boy. With that, Kakashi left to find his new student. 1 hour later, the 9-year-old Naruto stood before his Aji-san, who calls Gigi. You wanted me, Gigi? Yes. The incident regarding foreign shinobi the other day has caused some concern for your well-being. Are you saying I can't be a ninja, Gigi? His young mind is already going to the worst. This got a chuckle from both Hiruzen and Kakashi. No, Naruto, you can still be a ninja. It's just Hiruzen trailed off. You'll be trained privately by me, Kakashi finished. Who are you? The young blonde said. My name is Kakashi Hatake. Nice to meet you, he chirped as the man didn't seem to have any negative feelings towards him. Likewise, this going to be awesome. I'll be a hell of a lot stronger than everyone in my class, even that stupid Sasuke. He punches the air in excitement. This got a chuckle from the two elder ninja. So when do we start? Today, but I must warn you I can be a difficult taskmaster. Do your worst, I'm going to be Hokage one day. If I can survive this, the becoming Hokage will be a walk in the park, believe it, he said with zeal. You have no idea. Do I call you sensei or? Just Kakashi will do. Got it. We'll see. Now it's time for us to go shopping. Why? Trust me when I say your current clothes won't last long, he said with a slightly sinister tone. Naruto felt a shiver run down his spine, wondering what he got himself into. Naruto no longer wore the green shorts and orange hoodie, now her Chunin-style pant sandals when all was said and done. He was chain mail with an orange undershirt covering it up with a black zip-up hoodie for the top. At least I can keep this, he said, pointing to the orange undershirt. Now it's time to take you to training ground 3. Wait, the only ninja allowed on the training grounds? Normally yes, but you will be trained privately, so it's different for you. Sweet, he said, jumping up in the air. Follow me. The two walked in comfortable silence on their way to the training, and unfortunately, Naruto was getting the stares again. Why do they always stare at me? What did I ever do to them? He thought to himself. The memories of many pranks came rushing back to him, causing him to grin. Kakashi looks to his student. Just to let you know, your pranks come to an end now. Naruto could only pout at this, but it was fun while it lasted. After several minutes of walking, they now stood in training ground 3. So what do we do first, Kakashi-senpai? Kakashi could only raise a brow at the declaration, but let it go as it was better than being a sensei. He let out a chuckle at the possibility. What's so funny? Nothing. First off, let me see what you learned from the academy. Naruto proceeded to show Kakashi everything he learned so far for the next hour. I've got a lot of work to do, Kakashi thought to himself. First up, standard strength training. Strength training? I'm just a kid. Suck it up if you want to be a ninja. For the rest of the day, Kakashi put the 9-year-old's version of hell for strength training. 2 days later, the academy, the Chunin instructor, known as Iruka, had just let out his class for the day. He sat at his desk, wondering where Naruto went. Maybe he didn't want to come back to school, he said softly. Iruka-sensei, a feminine voice said. Iruka looks to the origin of the voice to see a young Hinata standing at the doorway. Iruka-sensei, have you seen Naruto? She managed to say. No, I haven't. It's been 3 days since I have last seen him. Summing up as much resolve as she could, and maybe the Hokage knows. Astute observation, Hinata. This caused the girl to blush slightly at the praise. I would ask, but I'm a little scared. Would you like me to come with me, so we find out together? He said with a reassuring smile. Hinata gave a small nod, and the two walked to the Hokage Tower. Hokage Tower. Hiruzen was going over paperwork of his ninja's recent jobs when he hears his door open reveals Iruka and the Hyuga clan's heiress. Yes, what is it? Lord Hokage, we were just wondering why Naruto hasn't been in class over the past 3 days. Yes, well, after the incident a few days ago, I felt it was better if Naruto is trained privately for his protection. Iruka looks Hiruzen in the eye. By who, if you don't mind me asking? I suppose he wouldn't mind. Kakashi Hatake is training him. Iruka had a surprised look in his eyes. Kakashi, but he's a Jonin. Wouldn't a Chunin be better? Kakashi insisted he trained him. Who knows, by the time he's done, he may be stronger than his entire class, Hiruzen said with a smirk. This surprised Iruka and Hinata at the Hokage's declaration before both shared a smile. That sounds like Naruto always trying to prove himself, Iruka informed with a grin. I hope he doesn't get into trouble. He'll be fine. He has a jonin looking after him. I shouldn't have to remind you to keep to yourselves. We will, and thank you. You may go now. Come on, Hinata. I'll walk you home, so you don't get in trouble for staying out too late. Thank you, Iruka-sensei. As master and student left, Hiruzen pondered if he made the right choice for Naruto. It was late in the day as Iruka walked Hinata home when suddenly Hinata caught a glimpse of a familiar head of blonde hair, and Naruto, pointing to the blonde off in the distance. Iruka looked where Hinata was pointing and saw not only blonde hair but gray hair as well. Upon closer inspection, Kakashi was carrying Naruto over his shoulder. Hinata changed direction toward her kush. Knowing how his former student is doing, Iruka followed suit. Kakashi! Iruka called out, getting the jonin's attention. Hey Iruka, how's it going? Good. I was walking Hinata home when we saw you, and I figured to see how my former student is doing. We just got done with some strength training. As a reward for lasting longer than I thought, I'm treating Naruto to ramen. Hi Iruka-sensei and Hinata, he said weakly. Care to join us? I don't mind, but I'm not sure Hinata can. Lady Hinata, a new voice said aloud. Speak of the devil, Kakashi said as one of the Hyuga clan members came rushing toward them at the sight of the heiress. Lady Hinata, where have you been? He held a mixture of worry and anger. Sorry about that. Hinata wanted to talk to the Hokage earlier and was walking her home when we ran into Kakashi and Naruto, Iruka informed. With a sigh, okay, I'm sure that'll please your father, but we have to get home now. Hinata had a small frown but complied with her elder and left with him, but not before giving Naruto one last glance. Well, would you like to go to Ichiraku's? I would like that. Kakashi, the two ninjas and student headed in the direction of the ramen stand. Naruto, we're here. Wahoo, the blonde said. Kakashi set him on the stool. Remember, I'm paying for 5 bowls. Got it, senpai, he said as he went to work eating his ramen. Iruka got the same ramen as Naruto. You look beat, Naruto, Tsuchi said. Been doing strength training with Kakashi senpai, he said, point to the one-eyed ninja. Why? I thought you were an academy student? I am, said, getting their attention. Not anymore. I'm being trained personally by Kakashi senpai, he said before eating his 3rd bowl. Why is that? Tsuchi said. There was an incident at the academy, and the Hokage thought it would be best if I trained him, the one-eyed ninja informed. Tsuchi and I gave the nod in understanding that Naruto was not the most famous person in the village, and as Kakashi said, Naruto only got 5 bowls, but thankfully he got his 6th bowl on the house as a good luck meal for training with the jonin. Later the night, Hyuga compound. You are late, why? Hayashi said in a commanding tone. I was visiting the Hokage. For what purpose? Well, one of our C-class mates was missing, so I wanted to know why. That stuttering of yours needs to stop, he demanded. Anyway, which classmate is missing? And Naruto. And he's being trained privately by a Jonin. What? He's being trained by a Jonin. Do you know the name of Jonin? Kakashi. So the Hokage is having the fox brat being trained by Kakashi. He thought to himself. You may go now. Thank you, sir. She walked to her room to get some sleep. The next day, Hiruzen was currently facing every Kage's greatest enemy that no amount of training can defeat: paperwork. The door opens, revealing Hayashi with a strong glare in his eyes. Yes, what is it? He didn't even bother looking him in the eye, knowing why he is here. It had come to my attention you let the fox brat take private lessons without alerting the clan heads. He has a name. He looked him dead in the eyes, not wavering in the slightest, putting Hayashi on edge. Yes, Naruto Uzumaki, why would you dedicate valuable resources to train him? Do you know what could happen if he learns of his power? He could turn on the village. Watch your tongue. Need I remind you you're talking to your Hokage? And are you questioning my authority? He armed his killing intent, causing trace amounts of sweat to trickle down Hayashi's forehead. Hai sure knew he crossed the line at his insubordination towards his leader but had to air his perspective. No, I'm just not pleased with this turn of events. I felt this was best for Naruto after he nearly died from a few of his now former classmates tried to get him killed. I was unaware of this. Mind explaining in further detail? With a sigh, Hiruzen quelled his killing intent. Going into detail about the event that happened now 4 days ago. I see. Well, I apologize for my outbreak. The clan head bowed before Hiruzen, showing respect and reverence to the 3rd Hokage. You may go. I have paperwork due. With that said, Hayashi left without a sound. I hope I made the right decision, Naruto. With Naruto, a young Naruto is experiencing his version of hell right now with strength training once again with weighted chest piece going a round of push-ups, sit-ups, and jogging. Senpai, is this really necessary? He said in an exhausted tone. Yes, to be a ninja, you must be strong, and it will increase your stamina, allowing you to have more chakra, Kakashi said, reading his little orange book, even though already an incredible amount for your age. How much longer am I going to do strength training? 3 more weeks or so, he responded casually. 3 more weeks, that's a whole month. He exasperated. I never said being a ninja would be easy. He countered. Okay, what do we do after my strength training is over? It's never over. But after the month is up, we'll work of your taijutsu. That doesn't sound so bad. You have no idea, he said while thinking of the green monster. This caused Naruto to gulp in fear at his senpai's tone of voice. 3 days later. It has been 1 week since Naruto started to train under Kakashi, and his classmates finally noticed his absence. One of those classmates had back hair and a pineapple haircut. He leans over to his friend and whispers, "Yo, Choji, have you seen Naruto around?" "No, I haven't." "You don't think he—" "I doubt it from what my dad said. He's alive." No surprise he had Iruka-sensei there to save him. Hinata was sitting in the back of the class like usual, pondering over the fate of Naruto. "I hope Naruto's okay. What am I saying? Naruto training to become stronger, meaning I have to as well," she thought with termination. Iruka did a good job hiding it, granted these are academy students. His thoughts were on Naruto. "I hope Naruto is doing okay. I can only imagine what Kakashi is putting him through," Iruka thought. Later that day, "Something on your mind, Shikamaru?" Shikaka said to his son. "Naruto hasn't shown up for class for the past week." He held his usual expression. "Are you worried about the boy?" His son usually doesn't show much interest in anything besides shogi. This is the second time in less than a week Shikamaru asked about Naruto. "Not really, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't curious about what he's been up to since that incident in the back hills. Now you got me curious. I'll talk to the Hokage about it tomorrow." "Time for dinner," Yoshino informed, bringing dinner to the table. The next day, the Jonin commander stood outside the Hokage office, preparing himself for his conversation on Naruto's fate since the incident in the back hills. He knocks before entering Lord Hokage. "Yes, what is it, Shikaka?" "My son pointed out how Naruto hasn't been in class for the past week." Hiruzen gave a firm glare. "I see you want to know what happened to him? Normally, it wouldn't matter, but my son asked the question, and it got me curious about the boy. After the incident, I thought it was best if he was trained privately by Kakashi." "Kakashi, why would you?" "Never mind, well, that's all I wanted to know. Is there anything else?" "I can only imagine the village reaction when this goes out." A grin graced Hiruzen's face. "I don't mind you telling your son if he's anything like you. He can keep a secret." "Does anyone else know of this?" "Yes, Iruka, Haishur, an heiress of your clan as well." "Now, another question. What will you do with Naruto once his training is complete?" "I don't know, but let's see how long he will last first." This is Kakashi knowing him. "Hell trains him beyond genin in strength," he said with a flat tone, looking around the room. "I figured as much. Well, if there's anything else, I'm gonna leave." "Very well." He went back to his never-ending pile of paperwork. The next day, academy. "You're kidding," was Choji's response. "Tone it down. From what my dad said, he doesn't want this getting out," Shikamaru said in a hushed tone. "Sorry, I just never expected this. I hope Naruto is doing alright." "I'm sure he is. Naruto doesn't seem like the kind of person to give up. After all, he always shouts he's going to be Hokage one day," he said with a sigh. "You're right. I wonder if we can see how he's doing?" "I doubt it." "Yeah, you're probably right about that." "What are you two talking about?" a kid with spiky black hair said. "Sasuke," Choji whispered. "Does it have anything to do with why certain dope isn't here?" This resulted in a gulp from the two boys, confirming Sasuke's suspicion. "What going on?" "Sorry, but that's not our place to say," Shikamaru countered. "What going on?" A girl with platinum blonde hair and no pupils shouts. "These two know why Naruto isn't here, keeping it to themselves, it seems. Why does it matter? He's an idiot. He has no right to be a ninja. Still don't know why the Hokage decided to let him be a ninja," she ranted. Choki and Shikamaru glared at the girl. "Yes, Naruto can be annoying, but he's entertaining. Naruto and Choji love Ichiraku ramen. Naruto would always help him when ditching class from time to time." Suddenly 4 chalk sticks hit the 4 students, getting their attention. "Need I remind you you're still in class? Back to the lesson." 3 weeks later, after 3 weeks of intense training, Naruto had finally finished his basic strength training. He was slightly buff for a 9-year-old. Now it was time for him to work on taijutsu. "Time for your taijutsu lessons, Naruto." "Got it, senpai. How long would this be?" he replied with a level tone. Kakashi's one eye widened slightly. Naruto made his first step toward being a ninja, going off his subtle change in tone. "A month, and that how we are going to do your training now? Each month, I will train you in a different field of shinobi arts." "Everyone?" "Well, not everyone, just the one you show promise in." Naruto let out a sigh of relief, knowing there is some shinobi art he's not the best at. To what level are you going to train me to?" "Let's see how you fare in each one first now. Let's start your training." "Got it, senpai." 2 weeks later, Naruto was progressing nicely in taijutsu. At first, he was horrible, but using ramen as a reward was a good motivator. Of course, knowing his love for ramen, Naruto only got 5 bowls out of Kakashi. After all, he can't risk him getting fat. "Man, this is easy," Naruto declared with a grin. Well, I'm not the best at taijutsu, but I know someone who is. I'd like to see how good he is." "Well, I recently got a mission that needs attention. I'll be away for a week, so I'll have him teach you taijutsu while I'm gone." "Sweet, who knows, maybe I'll be better than you when you return." Little did he know that he opened Pandora's box. Thanks to his mask, Kakashi could hide an evil grin because Naruto said his training was easy. His mind went over his conversation with the green monster of the leaf. Flashback start. 1 week earlier, after another long day of training, Kakashi was walking home after dropping Naruto off when suddenly a green monster appeared before him. "Yosh. My eternal rival, word is you took on a protege." A green monster with the biggest eyebrow anyone had ever seen. "I wouldn't say that, it's just, I must know this young man's name," he said as eloquent as possible for the green monster. Knowing he isn't getting out of this, His name is Naruto. Wait, as in he was cut off with a hand to his mouth. Just a kid who wants to be a ninja, Kakashi said in a severe tone. Guy knew of the boy's status. At first he wasn't a fan of the boy, but then he heard of the boy's work ethic from the Hokage, changing his perception of the boy. Then I demand to see what's so special about this boy you took on, he said fiercely. Knowing he wasn't getting out of this, fine, I'm starting him on his taijutsu training. I'm taking a mission soon, so when I leave, he's all yours till I return. Excellent, where does he live? I'll pick him up in the morning, he said curiously, followed up with enthusiasm. Kakashi could only sweat drops at this, hoping he didn't make a mistake. Flashback end. I regret nothing, he thought to himself. What's this guy's name? Mike Guy. He'll pick you up in the morning. You're off for the day, get some rest. You're going to need it, he whispered the last part. Time for some Ichiraku ramen, he said triumphantly before holding his hand out. Right, good job today, Naruto, he said before handing him enough ryo for 5 bowls of miso ramen before poofing away. Time for some grub. Ichiraku ramen. Hi, Tuchi and I am. 1 bowl of miso ramen with extra barbecue pork. Naruto, nice to see you and Kakashi not here. That's a chance? I am wore a curious expression since Kakashi has become regular since training Naruto. Naruto didn't respond as he was vacuuming up his ramen. Not long, he finished his 5th bowl. Yeah, Kakashi has a mission to do, so he has someone named Mike Guy to train while he's away, he said, ignorant of what to comes. Tuchi and I am shared a look of concern knowing of Jonin's unique personality. Here's an extra bowl on the house, Tuchi said, hiding his concern. What's the occasion? The young blonde said. No occasion, figure you're gonna need your strength under Guy's training. I'm sure I can handle it. Let's make it 2. After all, you're gonna need your strength. Thank you. Naruto paid for his meal, made his way home. Poor soul has no idea what he got himself into, Tuchi thought to himself. He looks to his daughter. She was sharing the same sentiment. Every day at 4 a.m., the green beast woke to do his morning stretches, ready to show the power of youth. And today, he will pass that knowledge on to the younger generation in the form of Naruto. He is unaware of the gift he's about to receive. By the time he reached his apartment, at 4:10 a.m., he would have done his morning workout, but he wanted to do it with his temporary student. Guy being well, Guy decided to do a grand entrance by busting through Naruto's window. Well, hello my youthful student, I will be your taijutsu teacher until Kakashi gets back, he shouts, hurling Naruto over his shoulder before bolting toward the training ground. Moments earlier, Naruto is sleeping peacefully, enjoying a dream about being Hokage and how everyone was bowing down before him, no longer treated as an outcast. Suddenly, without warning, he was woken up from his sleep by a loud noise before hearing a Kami awful speech about youth and Kakashi. He wasn't able to get a single word as he suddenly hurled over the strange man's shoulder. They were at the training ground where Kakashi had been training him for the past month in no time flat. Guy rather forcefully set him on the ground so the boy could admire his greatness. Naruto could only sweat drops at the strange man before him, only to realize this must be Might Guy. Kakashi told him would be his taijutsu teacher for the week. You must be Guy to train me in taijutsu while Kakashi-senpai is away on a mission? He repeated Guy's statement, wanting to make sure his sleep-deprived mind understood. You are correct. I am Might Guy, the green beast of the leaf, he said with a smile, his teeth sparkle. Naruto thought to himself how his teeth sparkle when the sun hasn't resigned yet. Upon closer inspection, he notices the high amount of green he was sporting. Green beast, more like caterpillar man with all that green. We will start with stretches, and with a warm run of 20 laps around the village he would have done his usual. But since the boy is so young, he better go easy on him for now. If he's not careful, Kakashi won't be happy if his student cannot continue his ninja training. A shiver ran down his spine as his mind goes straight to the Hokage, as he doesn't want to go through that again like the last time he went overboard on the young ninja. 20 laps. I'm just a kid, and I haven't even had breakfast yet. Would you rather do 100 as I do? And we'll stop for breakfast before our morning run, he said with a grin as his teeth sparkled once again. 20 laps are fine, he said in haste. Let us sprint to the nearest cafe, he said before bolting with a Naruto not too far behind him. Surprisingly enough, he was able to keep up with Guy to a certain extent, so this is why Kakashi wanted me to do strength training, so I can keep up with guys like him. When they finally made it to the cafe, Naruto felt their hostility, but it quickly died when Guy announced he was with him. I knew life was hard for the boy, but not this bad. No wonder Kakashi took him under his wing. He looks the boy up and down. The two bought their meals and ate them at a reasonably quick pace before doing the morning run. 2 hours later. As you expect, Naruto looks like he was on the brink of life and death from so much running. Come on, Naruto, you're on your final lap. Use the power of youth. It didn't take long for Naruto to get sick and tired of the word youth. No wonder Tuchi and Iam said I would need my strength. Traitors, he thought, for not telling him the truth. At last, he was finally over with his run. He plopped on the ground, trying to catch his breath. Way to go, Naruto. Work on your strength training while I finish my laps. Don't slack off unless you want to deal with Kakashi, all he said before bolting around the village. Naruto lay there mulling over Guy's words. On one hand, he wanted to take a break after what Guy put him through. On the other hand, he didn't want Kakashi to find out he was slacking off. After thinking it over for a minute, he didn't want to deal with Kakashi, so he begrudgingly got up and started his necessary strength training exercise while Guy was doing his run with Kakashi. Kakashi was jumping from tree to his assignment when a bad feeling washed over him. Shit, Naruto training with Guy today. Guy wouldn't make Naruto do something unreasonable, would he? Nah guys, not that cruel, I hope, he said to himself. An hour later with Naruto. Naruto had just finished with warm-up exercises Kakashi had drilled into him since day one. By this time, Guy had finished his warm-up run and exercised, ready to start training the boy in the ways of taijutsu. Okay, show me the taijutsu Kakashi has taught you so far. For the next hour, Naruto went over everything Kakashi has taught him. Not bad, Kakashi. I expect nothing less from my greatest rival. He looked into the boy's eyes and didn't see any sign of the beast. Okay, the first thing to start with is muscle memory. What now? Right, he's only 9. Muscle memory is when your muscles reproduce movement without thinking beforehand through practice. I think I get it, but can you show me? Guy did a roundhouse, now follow my lead. With the help of Guy, Naruto walked through all the steps of performing a roundhouse kick himself. Now that you have done the movements, I want you to practice doing them, and you'll find you'll have to focus less on making sure the movement are correct as time goes on. For the next 2 hours, Naruto went through all the positions to pull off a roundhouse kick, and to his surprise, it did get more comfortable to do. Hey, this doesn't seem so bad, he thought to himself, unaware of what was to come. For 3 days, Naruto woke up, ate breakfast with Guy, and did his morning run and warm-up exercises. He committed to memory various taijutsu moves Kakashi taught him alongside some new one Guy invented. On the 4th day, things changed in a way that would haunt Naruto for years to come. It was time to spar. Usually, this isn't a problem for Naruto. He's spared with Kakashi a ton over the last 2 weeks of taijutsu training. Guy, however, was a different case. Naruto swept Guy's legs to knock him off his feet. He was in for a rude awakening. Guy, not one to hold back, dodged the move effortlessly only to nail Naruto in the gut, sending him skidding across the ground into the bushes. Come on, Naruto, I know you can do better than that. His teeth sparkled for the umpteenth time. Easy for you to say you're not the one getting kicked around like a soccer ball, he said in a rage. That is no excuse with the power of youth. That damnable word again. Every time he hears that word, it feels like his ears are bleeding. To make matters worse, he couldn't land a single hit, so he is wasting all his chakra with every strike. But he has to use it to guard himself against getting beat to a bloody pulp. Naruto silently vowed to kill Kakashi when he gets back for sticking Guy on him. Fortunately, he only has to deal with him for 3 more days. Naruto managed to get to his feet and carry himself back toward Guy again, getting in his fighting stance once more. Come on, Naruto, let your rage toward Guy fester and grow, the nine-tailed fox said with glee as he could feel the seal weakening slightly as his rage intensified. Somehow someway Naruto was able to dodge Guy move nows, but it didn't last long. Naruto quickly found himself planted face first in the dirt again. That's enough for one day, Naruto. Oh, here's some money for dinner tonight. He left it in a small pouch next to Naruto's down form. He let out a sigh of relief as he willed himself up. He picked up the money and slowly trekked to Ichiraku Ramen. Ichiraku Ramen, you're back, Naruto. Haven't seen you for a few days. Guy's training is a lot harder than I thought. He exasperated. Well, he is a jonin after all, Tsuchi said, being very careful with his tone. Naruto one of his best customers. The last thing he wants is to piss him off, knowing full well of Guy personality. You don't know the half of it. At first, I thought Guy was cool beside waking me up at 4:10 in the morning every day and making me run around the village. Then we started sparring today to cement in the taijutsu moves he taught me. That does not include him shouting that word every chance he gets. It can't be that bad. He is the best taijutsu ninja in the Leaf Village, I am added. That is true. I just wished Guy went easy on me. I'm only 9 for crying out loud. Hate to rain on your parade, Naruto, but age doesn't mean anything in the ninja world, Tsuchi informed. How so? Kakashi, the jonin who started your training, became a ninja at 6 years old and a chunin later that year, 3 years younger than you. You're kidding. Kakashi became a ninja at 6? He said in shock. Not lying. Don't believe me, ask him yourself when he gets back. Naruto held his head down in shame, and here I thought I was special cause I was getting trained personally by a jonin. Yo, Naruto, how's it going? Naruto looks to the side and sees Shikamaru and his dad Shikaku and Choji. The three quickly took their seats. Shikamaru sat next to Naruto with Choji next to him with Shikaku at the end. I'm doing good, just exhausted from taijutsu training with Guy-senpai, he said with a smile, glad to see a familiar face. Is Guy giving you the awful speech about why was all Shikaku could say? Naruto shot from his seat to the other end of the counter in the blink of an eye. Shikaku can only sit there while Naruto has his hand firmly on his mouth. He moved so fast none of them could keep up. Don't you dare say that word. It's bad enough. I have to hear it from Guy, he said with a hint of rage before withdrawing his hand from the jonin commander. Looks like that time with Kakashi and Guy is paying off. You were never that fast before, Tsuchi said with a grin. Naruto quickly went back to his seat. That sounds like them. Alright, Shikaku responded. It was several minutes before Tsuchi's word finally sunk in his 4 customers. That was amazing. Naruto, not even Sasuke that fast, and he's the top of the class, Choji said with amazement. I did move incredibly fast. I'm getting stronger and that much closer to becoming Hokage. he said with glee. Food's on me tonight, Shikaka said. The four ate like kings, or as close you can when it comes to ramen. In an alley within eyesight stood, a figure was watching the display. He has the most oversized eyebrows in the village. That is some incredible speed, just wish he'd use that in our spars, he thought to himself before leaving Hokage Tower. Hiruzen was watching the whole display from his crystal ball and couldn't help but smile. It's been a month and a half of personal training, and he improved faster than he thought possible. Seems it was a good idea after all. Kakashi just wished Naruto had a better motivation to show that strength than a word considers by many in the village to be forbidden. With Naruto and the others, well, I'm full. Thanks for the grub, Mr. Nara, Naruto said before heading home. No problem, Naruto will see you around. Come on guys, it's time to head home. As soon as Naruto entered he immediately collapses onto his bed from the sheer exhaustion from Guy's training. The next day, wake my young students so we can enjoy the springtime of youth. Naruto takes his pillow, holds it around his head in an attempt to block out Guy's voice, especially that dreaded word. Go away, Guy. I'm still tired from yesterday, he pleaded through his pillow. Not today, Naruto, we have sparring to do, he shouts, hurling Naruto over his shoulder to start their morning routine. 3 hours later, Academy. Iruka was getting everything ready for the day when two students showed up earlier than expected. Iruka-sensei, Shikamaru and Choji shout as they enter the class. What are you two doing here? Class doesn't start for another hour. We need to tell you something important about Naruto, Choji shouts. You have my attention. That was their cue before divulging what happened last night at Ichiraku's. To say Iruka was shocked was an understatement. To move that fast in so little time is unheard of. It looks like things are looking up for you, Naruto. That still doesn't explain why Naruto reacted to the word my dad was about to say. Do you know what he's talking about? Can't blame him for not telling you. You're not gonna get it from me. But I will say this, it's considered taboo by many high-ranking ninjas. Must be pretty bad then. You have no idea. And I know you two aren't going to spread this around the school and drop your pursuit of this taboo word if we know Naruto, he said with a grin, causing the two boys to pale at what Naruto could do to them. You won't hear a peep out of us, they said in unison. Good, since you're here so early, you can help clean up the class before everyone gets here. Ah man, with Naruto and Guy. Naruto was surprised by today. Instead of sparing, Guy wanted to work on his speed, and what better way to do that than wearing 40 pounds of weights? But he still had to spar with him. Guy went to sweep his legs only for Naruto to barely dodge before showing off his attempt at Leaf Hurricane. As usual, Guy was able to dodge the attack and countered like always. Fortunately, stakes are nowhere near as brutal as yesterday. Naruto silently thanked Kami for giving him a break. This went on for the next 2 days of wearing weights and sparring with Guy. On the last day, things were different too, still spared but stopped early to see how Naruto's speed improved. Okay, Naruto, this is our last day of training. Guy's a little sad his time training Naruto coming to an end. Hopefully forever, Naruto thought to himself. To see how fast you are, we are going to race around the village 5 times. But unlike this morning, where you pace yourself to run longer, we are going to run top speed to see how far you have improved. Naruto would have asked afterward, but he didn't want to jinx himself, so he took off his weights. Hey, what time is it? It's 3:30. Naruto ready set go. Naruto took off like a bullet, jumping from tree limb to tree limb, using all his willpower and chakra to accelerate himself as fast as he can. It took a few seconds to reach the village wall, using it to guide their race around the village. He was going so fast that everything was a blur to him, but he could make enough out to know when to jump, dive, and slide to keep up with the Caterpillar Man. Guy hates the name to the point Naruto uses it, forcing him to lose focus to gain an advantage whenever he can. In a matter of 10 minutes, Naruto was on his final lap. His leg felt like they were on fire, but he kept pushing as he wants to see the fruits of his labor. I can see the entrance to the training ground 3, he panted as he was less than 100 feet away. It was over in the blink of an eye, but then he ran into a new problem. He was running so fast he could slow down in time. He was about to collide with a tree. Oh man, this is gonna hurt, he chanted to himself, closing his eyes, preparing for the inevitable. But it never came. Naruto opened his eyes only to see Guy stopping him only a few feet away from the tree. You did good, Naruto. You can take the rest of the day off as a reward. You've earned it. Thanks, Guy-senpai. He bows to him. Naruto limped his way home after using so much chakra in his little race. He's now running on fumes. Kakashi is due back tomorrow and intends to rest as much as possible before the hell he has to go through with him. I hope Kakashi-senpai doesn't get any ideas when Guy tells him about his week. He shudders at the possibility. After climbing his way to his apartment, his stomach started rumbling as he stood outside the door. Great, I'm hungry and tired. Which do I want to do first? After waiting a minute, food sounds good. He opens his door to only for the sound of someone cooking to enter his ears. Oh, Kami, not again. It took me forever to clean up the last time someone decided to redecorate my apartment with a food bomb, he thought to himself. He carefully snuck his way in to see who had entered his apartment. The last time this happened, all he saw was the back of the bastard jumping out the window, and a food bomb went off cover his entire kitchen and him. It took 7 hours to clean the place spotless. He carefully peered his head around the corner only to see a man in red and white standing over the stove. He was about to call the bastard out before he realized it was the Hokage. Gigi, what are you doing here? Naruto, wondering when you'd be back he was going to continue, was cut off. What are you doing here? He said once more. I was about to say before interrupted me. He said in a severe tone, causing his surrogate grandsons to gulp as he stepped back half a step. I'm sorry, please continue, he said with a forced respectful tone. Before you cut me off, I was saying I saw your little race around the village before you asked. You're gonna have to get a lot faster before getting past these eyes, he said with a smirk. Okay, why are you cooking? I wanted to congratulate you on your progress so far. I saw you the other night at Ichiraku. He showed an amused smile. Naruto could only grin at this. You saw that? Huh, for a second there I thought you were someone setting off a food bomb in my apartment. Yes, the food bomb incident. Well, you don't have to worry about that unless the village wants to know why I got the name Professor. Naruto's grin only grew at this before setting down. So what's cooking, Gigi? Just as Hiruzen was about to tell him, the pan blew up in smoke, covering both of them in soot. After clearing their eyes, Naruto was the first to speak. Ichiraku sound good? Yes, it does. I'll have someone clean this up. Naruto gave him a questioning look. Relax. It's someone I can trust. Who? Hiruzen put his thumb to his mouth, covering it in blood. Summoning jutsu, a cloud of smoke formed before dispatching spawning a small monkey. Bobo, I need you to clean this apartment of all the soot as quick as possible. I see you tried cooking again, Hiruzen. You know it always ends up in smoke. Just get cleaning, he said in a huff as he and Naruto left the apartment. With Kakashi. Kakashi was on his way back from the village when Pakken suddenly appeared. I got that information you wanted, Kakashi. Thanks, Pakken. So how's Naruto while I was away? You won't believe it, but his speed has increased dramatically. He circled the village 5 times in 10 minutes, which for his age is incredible. That's unexpected. His one eye widened. That not all apparently when he was at Ichiraku Ramen with some friends. In the blink of an eye, he jumps from one end to the other to keep Shikaku from saying youth. I can see him going that fast if it means not hearing the most taboo word easily in the ninja circles. Well, there's not much else to say as those were the only big things I cared to find. Thanks, Pakken. You can leave now. See ya, he said before leaving in a cloud of smoke. I'll have to up his training when I get back. Kakashi didn't even bother to hide his laughter after hearing Guy's tale of training Naruto, especially the nickname he gave him. It's not funny, you're right. It's hysterical. Anyway, Naruto improved faster than I thought possible. With his hand on his chin. All that stamina is probably from the nine tail, hence why his growth is so high after only 7 weeks of training. You're probably right on that one as well. I'll leave Naruto to you then. Guy went his own way, leaving Kakashi to ponder on what to do with Naruto's growth. Maybe I should continue Guy morning routine for Naruto. It would increase his already high stamina and speed, he said to himself. After thinking it over, he's compelled to continue it. Naruto's still young. He can take it. With Naruto enjoyed the early morning hours of staying in bed, not having to worry about Guy dragging him out at the crack of dawn. Knock, knock, knock. Naruto looks to his window to see Kakashi standing on the ledge. Suddenly a hidden rage in him clawed its way to the surface. He bolts toward the window, smashing it, tackling Kakashi to the street below. You monster, how could you leave me with a guy like that? He shouts as trying to punch Kakashi using the taijutsu moves he learned. For once, Kakashi was caught off guard, underestimating Naruto's newfound strength. Whoa, Naruto, slow down, slow down. I haven't a single chance to slow down after dealing with Guy for the week. Getting tired of this game, Kakashi actually had to try. Using his superior speed, he quickly dealt with this new, stronger Naruto. Naruto, will you calm down? I came to congratulate you on your progress, he said as he jumped through Naruto's apartment window. Why should I believe you after dumping Guy on me? He glared daggers at him. You get the rest of the day off. Now that more like it. The glare is replaced with a smile. I should warn you, I want you to continue Guy morning routine. The only reason I'm not attacking you again is that I want to enjoy my day off from training, he said before collapsing on his bed. See you tomorrow, Naruto. He disappeared into a spittle of leaves. What about my window? He said through his pillow. I'll tell Gigi about it later. 5 hours later. Man, that felt good, he says with a yawn, stretching his stiff body. Well, I better go grocery shopping. He walks over to the kitchen, opening up one of the drawers, pulling out his monthly allowance from the Hokage. He's thankful the Hokage does this for him. Otherwise, he is on the streets or still at the orphanage. Pulling out a decent amount of ryo to cover his food for the remainder of the month, he walked to the market district. He always got hateful looks. I almost wish Guy was here to keep them at bay. He shuddered at that, realizing it also meant his crazy morning exercise. It took a few minutes to reach his destination, the Land of Fire General Store. Hey, Naruto hasn't seen you in a while, the store clerk said. Yeah, been busy with training. He headed towards the ramen section with a shopping cart, stocking up on all his favorites before getting milk, bread, and other essentials. The first time he entered, he felt the constant feeling of dread and fear. When he attempted to buy his food, the clerk refused to serve him, even threatening to beat him if he didn't put everything back where he found it. Boy, was he in for a rude awakening when word of this reached the Hokage. After this incident, he had no problems buying food, toiletries, clothes, etc. Unfortunately, it's only the general store that he didn't have any problems with. Other shops in town is another story, not including Ichiraku Ramen. After he was done, he was forced to carry it home by himself. Yep, that's the downside of being young and living by himself. Naruto has to rely on himself most of the time. As he struggled to carry his groceries home, he accidentally bumped into someone, knocking him both down. Shaking off his fall, he looks to the perpetrator. "Hey, watch where you're going," he shouts, only to see the person in question is actually a girl. She looked to be around his age. Has snow-white and mismatched eyes. Her right eye is green, and the left one is red. "Weird," he said under his breath. "Me really? You should be the one to watch where you're going when carrying all the junk," she shouts with a hint of rage. "This isn't junk. This is my food and other things I need to live day in day out." His voice held irritation. "Whatever, just be careful next time," she matched his with an equally irritating tone. "Fine." He went back to gathering up all his stuff. "Wait, are you seriously carrying all that stuff yourself?" "Yeah, I don't have much of a choice since I live alone." "Why do you live alone?" "It's better than the orphanage I was at. The only downside, I have no one to take care of except me, myself, and I." "Do you need some help?" Naruto gave her a questioning look. He learned from bitter experience how people have a hidden agenda when they offer help. "Are you new to the village?" "Yeah, why?" "Just wondering is all, and yes, help would be greatly appreciated." "Oh, I never got your name. Mine's Naruto." "My name is Kakiko." "Nice to meet ya," he said with a grin. With her help, Naruto was able to carry all his groceries home with relative ease. Unknown to Naruto, this entire exchange was being watched by the Hokage, thanks to his crystal ball. Cat. A woman with long purple hair and can only be assumed to be a cat mask stepped forward. "Yes, Lord Hokage? It seems Naruto is having a girl come over to his house. I want you to keep an eye on them." "What? Naruto has a girl coming over to his apartment? How did this happen?" With a sigh, "I'm getting to that. Naruto ran into the girl that entered the village the previous day, and I doubt Natsu would do anything inappropriate with her knowing him, but I wouldn't have a clear conscience if I left them unattended." "I understand. I'll make sure Natsu doesn't do anything funny with her," she said before disappearing in a puff of smoke. With Naruto, thanks to Kakiko's help, Naruto managed to get all his supplies home and immediately started putting stuff away. "So this is where you live?" "Yeah, it's kinds of small, but it's home." "Anyway, you look hungry. Want something to eat?" "Sure, I hope instant ramen is okay." "That's fine." The two sat at Naruto's table, waiting for the 3 minutes to be up before giving a prayer. Kakiko took the first bite. This is amazing." A small smile graced her face. "I know ramen the best, but it's not as good as the fresh stuff," he said with a smile of his own. "Since she's new here, we should take her to the Hokage," a new voice announced. Both of them looked to the window to see a woman clad in gray ninja gear and a white mask. Kakiko was shuddering in fear, managed to say, "Who are you?" "My code name is a cat. I'm a member of the Leaf Village's Anbu forces." "Wondering when you'd show up," he said with a blank expression. Cat was taken back slightly, "But remember, he is training under Kakashi. Figure Kakashi would tell him about us." "Can we finish eating first?" Kakiko interjected. "Fine, make it quick." The two quickly eat the ramen in silence before heading to Hokage Tower. Hokage Tower. Kakiko was struggling not to shake under Hiruzen the third Hokage's gaze. Hiruzen going over her story, deciding on how to proceed from here. Outside his office, Naruto is sitting on the bench nearby with the agent cat beside him. "I wonder what Gigi is going to do with her," he asked himself. "Don't know, probably put her in the orphanage where she can have food, clothes, and a place to sleep at." "Great, which means she is probably gonna be like everyone else and look down on me." The sorrow was evident in his voice. "I wouldn't say that. After all, each person is different." "You wouldn't say that if you were in my shoes," he countered. Cat couldn't respond. History has proven that people aren't as accepting as she claims as far as the village is concerned. Hiruzen and Kakiko walked out of his office shortly after that. Curious about what he will do with the girl, she had to ask, "So what are you going to do?" "She'll stay at the orphanage for now, but apparently, she wants to be a ninja." "That hard to do since we can't just send her to the academy. Otherwise, she would be behind everyone in her class." "Here's an idea. Just give her private teacher as you did with me," he said sarcastically. Ignoring the sarcastic tone, "That's a good idea, Naruto. Now who should we assign her as a tutor?" "I was joking." He got a hateful glare from Kakiko at that comment. "Sorry." A smile formed on her face. Hiruzen and Kat let out a small chuckle at this. Maybe her being here might have a positive effect on Naruto. "Unless there's anything else, I'm going home. I want to enjoy this day off before I go back to training." "Bye, Naruto," Hiruzen and Kat said in unison. "Kakiko, would you mind staying outside while Kat and I discuss your ninja career?" "No." She walked out of his office, patiently waiting for him. "I would recommend Ebisu, but I know this might be a chance for Naruto to make a friend." Kat could tell he's pondering on the correct course of action. Maybe a clan head?" "No, they're all busy with their own duties." "What about your clan? Yours is the only one that doesn't openly hate Naruto." You have a point." I'll see if any are willing to. I'll take my leave then. Hiruzen walked out of his office and walked Kakiko to the orphanage. The next day, get up. Naruto stirred awake to see Kakashi standing in his now fixed widow. Fine, let me eat first, okay, don't take too long. Naruto just walked to his kitchen and had a bowl of cereal before putting on his ninja clothes. I'm ready. Kakashi grips Naruto's shoulder in a spiral of leaves. They off to training ground 3. For the remainder of the week, they continued to refine Naruto's taijutsu. Okay, your taijutsu is looking good. Now it's time to move on to the next ninja art, ninjutsu. Finally, something good, crud. I didn't mean it like that. Too late. Nuh. The first 3 weeks were horrible for him. The only good thing was that ninjutsu was something that only practice can teach you. Kakashi would show him the hand signs and jutsu and watch Naruto try and fail each jutsu until he got it right. The jutsu he learned were standard transformation, substitution, escape jutsu. The clone jutsu, on the other hand, was a different story. Try as he might, he could not master it. All he could get is a sickly version of himself that looked like it just died. Probably that Uzumaki blood running through his vein. They were never good with this jutsu with how much chakra they have. They only have a week left before the month ends. Naruto, I want you to work on your chakra control while I talk to the Hokage about something. Tree or water? Both. Fine. Kakashi shunned Shin away, leaving Naruto all by himself. Usually, when he gets a chance like this, he takes a break, but this is Kakashi. He didn't want to take the risk. He begrudgingly got up and did his chakra control exercises. Hokage Tower. Kakashi stood outside the Hokage office just as he's about to knock the door open, revealing Hiruzen. Yes, what is it, Kakashi? He ushered him in. Well, it's Naruto. He's having trouble with the clone jutsu. You do know the clone jutsu isn't a requirement to be a ninja. I know, but with how hyper he can be, the clone jutsu can be an asset to him. There also the Uzumaki blood running through him and with his level of chakra control, he said with a sigh. Well, there's one clone jutsu he might be able to use, but he's so young. Yes, but he also farther along than most of his classmates. I think I'll hold off on the clone jutsu. For now, that can be a parting gift. I think that would be best. Otherwise, he could really hurt himself with that jutsu. Little birdie told me Naruto has lady friend? He held an amused tone. Ah yes, her. Hiruzen explained the whole ordeal involving her and her story. Ah, to be young again, he said with a distant look in his eye. You old, wait till you're my age to say that. Still, her story is pretty tragic. I can see how she might be drawn to Naruto after all birds of a feather flock together. Fate can be cruel, sometimes. So, what are you doing with her? I asked one of my clansmen to train her to be a ninja. If all goes well, I might be able to catch her up to speed so she can enroll in the academy next year, if you say so. Do you have a better idea? Don't tell me you want another student. No. Naruto, more than enough for me. It's just all we know about her lineage is her mother, and nothing about her father. There's no telling what she's capable of. She could be your average shinobi, reach Chunin and stay there. Or she could unknowingly be a member of a powerful clan from Kiri. I made the same conclusion shortly after I learned she wanted to be a ninja. I'll leave it at that then. One more thing, he pulled out a small scroll from his robe. This is a list of various D-rank jutsu that could prove useful to Naruto. Kakashi scanned over the jutsu list. All were within the realm of possibility for Naruto as he is now. This should give him something to do when you're not training him. You may go now. With that, Kakashi took his leave. Cat. A purple-haired Anbu agent kneeled before him. Yes, Lord Hokage. I want you to keep an eye on the girl for the immediate future. If nothing happens, she goes to the academy next year, and if something does, we'll discuss it if the time comes. Hi. And she was off on her new most likely long-term mission, with Naruto. Man, it sure is boring without Kakashi-senpai around, he said to himself, standing upside down from the tallest tree in the training ground. Suddenly he caught a new presence. Gotta thank Kakashi-senpai for teaching me that trick. He jumps down to the clearing only to see familiar faces. It was his former classmates. Shit, I gotta hide. And like that, he was out of sight. He watches diligently hidden by leaves from atop a nearby tree. Iruka took a side glance at the tree. I hope you are doing well, Naruto, he thought to himself as he continued the lesson. He wasn't alone. 2 of the student minds were also on Naruto. I hope you're doing well, Naruto, Shikamaru and Choji thought in unison. Sasuke had a bored expression on his face and tried as he might. Naruto has been plaguing his mind since he left the academy. What could you be doing every time I see you in the village? You look like you just did a marathon. He must be doing some kind of special training. I can't let a loser like him show me up. With Naruto. He's Naruto. He looks behind him to see his senpai. Was wondering when you'd show up. Talk to the Hokage about something. Oh, this is for you from the Hokage. He handed him the scroll. Sweet, I bet it's some super powerful jutsu, he said with glee. No, it's various D-rank jutsu you should be able to do. Why now? 1. The Hokage thought you could handle them. 2nd, this gives you something to do when you're not training under me, so take your time after all. The Leaf Village wasn't built in a day. Got it. Mind explaining why my old classmates are here? You said the only ninja are allowed to use these training fields? Pretty sure they're learning about the natural environment and how it can be used in battle. You know, hiding spot, places for ambushes, etc. That's why they're here. Do I have to go through that? When you're done with this month ninjutsu training, we'll go on a hike around the Land of Fire so you can get a lay of the land. That actually sounds fun. We will also use that time to see what ninja's art you can do and what you can't. Fine by me. The two continued to watch the academy student do their lesson for the day. A week later. You ready, Naruto? Kakashi stood at the village entrance in the early morning hours. The fewer people who knew about his private training, the better. Yeah, he stood tall with his traveling pack. Let's head out then. 2 weeks later. 2 weeks have passed since their trip around the Land of Fire. It's been 3.5 months since he started his training with Kakashi. Not including taijutsu and ninjutsu training, Kakashi learned Naruto doesn't have any skill for genjutsu. But he did know the release jutsu if he gets caught in it. When they weren't exploring, he spared with Kakashi or practiced his skill in standard ninja weapons. He continued to practice all the jutsu Kakashi taught him at that time, and the one D-rank jutsu called after image jutsu, but it needs a reasonable skill of taijutsu to pull off. It's similar to the clone jutsu, but this one leaves a still specter image of you that lasts for about 10 seconds to distract your enemy. Most ninja uses it just as they dodge an attack to fool their enemy, giving them an opening. Naruto made great use of it when sparring with Kakashi, but since he's Jonin, he can see right through it. But Naruto needs the experience in using it for a real enemy, as the jutsu is only useful in the heat of battle. Clang! Is heard in the deep forest of the Land of Fire as master and student spared using kunai. Kakashi blocks Naruto kunai with his "You're getting better, Naruto. Thanks is all thanks to you, Kakashi-senpai." He jumped back away before throwing shuriken at him. Gonna have to do better than that. He dodged before throwing his own toward Naruto. Dang! Was all he said. He was hit with the shuriken before his body poofed, revealing long. Kakashi spun around in an instant, block another strike on him. Most genin can't do that. You're getting stronger. With a grin, I'm one step closer to becoming Hokage. That enough for one day. It's getting late. He looked to the setting sun. The two ended their spar for the day, eat freshly caught fish for dinner from a nearby river. They continue this for the remainder of the month, exploring every part of the Land of Fire. On the second to the last day of their trip, they jumped from tree to tree back to the village. Things were going smoothly until Naruto unknowingly landed on a rotten branch, forcing him to plummet to the forest floor. Naruto hit his head hard on a branch before hitting the ground, knocking him out cold. Naruto! Kakashi shouts, bolting toward his student. He lands just feet away from him. He put his head to his chest. Thank Kami, he's still alive. He picks him up, setting him down near the tree trunk. He decided to wait for him to wake up as it was getting late, and his injuries weren't life-threatening. Little did he know Naruto would finally meet someone that would change his life forever. With Naruto. What is this place? He stands in what looks to be an old sewer. Water was up to his knees with how young he is. Next, he hears a dark chuckle in the distance. I wonder who that could be. He slowly makes his way to the noise. As he walks through the halls, he finds a giant room with what looks like a massive cage door. Suddenly, two ginormous red eyes with slits appear out of the darkness. My jailer finally shows his face to me, he said with a dry and gritty. Who are you? Who do you think I am, a brat? As he got a closer look, he dropped to his knees as absolute terror clawed its way on his face. Why, you're the nine-tailed fox. The fox grinned at this. Yes, I am, and you are my jailer. He continued to eye the young boy. But how? That insufferable fourth Hokage sealed me inside of you. That how? He roared. But why? Simple, he couldn't stop me, so he sealed me inside of you. Don't make me repeat myself, he commanded. I want to go home. He was trembling in fear at the mere presence of the fox despite a sealed door separating them. Then leave. That was all the shock Naruto needed before he bolted awake. Kakashi rushed when he woke up. Naruto, are you all right? It looks like you had a bad dream. I saw him, the nine-tailed fox. Why didn't anyone tell me? He shouts as tears stream down his cheeks. Kakashi brought Naruto into a hug, trying to comfort him the best he can. It's okay, Naruto, you're safe now. He tried his best to comfort the boy. Naruto cried into his vest. Did you know? Yes, I did. Then why didn't you tell me? Because the Hokage didn't want you to find out about it, so he banned people talking about it being sealed. Is that why everyone hates me? Regrettably, yes. But unlike the village, me, the Hokage, and many others know it's no fault of your own. Am I monster? And no, of course not. Maybe a little mischievous because of your prank, but you're not a monster. Hee, you can say that again, he said with a grin. Let's go to bed. It's nearly midnight. We have to be back at the village tomorrow, then you can talk to the Hokage about this. With a yawn, okay, Kakashi laid him back down so he can get some sleep. Not looking forward to this, but better he learns this way than someone telling him outright, don't worry, Naruto, I'll help you through this, he thought to himself before calling it a night. Naruto stands before the Hokage with Kakashi by his side. With a drag from his pipe, I'm sorry, Naruto, for not telling you, but there's no easy way to say it. It's fine. Kakashi explained it to me in the morning. He still held a solemn tone. Naruto sure is being mature about this. Wait a minute, a mature Naruto, that could only mean one thing. A prank is on the horizon. He thought to himself. This line of thinking was shared with Kakashi. You're so gonna get it, old man, for keeping this from me. He has a hell of a poker face as he thought of pranks. As Kakashi pointed out, you finding out this way may be a good thing. If someone told you when you weren't ready, I can only imagine the chaos that would ensue. So, what do you suppose we do, Lord Hokage? For now, we'll keep it between Naruto and us. Do not tell anyone. Do not seek out the demon for knowledge. If he starts talking, ignore him. Yes, Lord Hokage. Got it, Gigi? You may go, Naruto. Kakashi, stay here. We need to discuss this further. Naruto left the Hokage office presumably to think of a prank for Gigi. Do you think Naruto will ignore the fox spirit? No, I just hope he can resist the temptation of its seductive power. We both know a few people who would love to sink their claws in him. True, let's hope his inevitable prank isn't too bad. Naruto wouldn't go too far, would he? Hard to say with that boy. Tenzo. An Anbu with a mask of a tiger jumped down from above. Yes, Lord Hokage. Keep an eye on Naruto. Make sure he doesn't blab this to any children throughout the village. And this prank he might be planning? I hate to say this, just make sure he doesn't hurt himself. He's gonna need to vent his feeling about this one way or another. Are you sure, Lord Hokage? I could easily stop him from doing a prank? No, it could further agitate him and give the fox new opportunities to manipulate the boy if he hasn't already. Yes, Lord Hokage. He left in a poof of smoke. If that is all, I'll be going. You're dismissed. Hiruzen was left to his thoughts for the remainder of the day, deciding how to continue Naruto training. The next day, Naruto just jumped out of the Hokage office with a massive smirk. This is gonna be good. He hung from the Hokage monument with his new skill level, waiting for Gigi to fall for his prank. Hiruzen walked into his office to see an instant cup of ramen at his desk. Better get this over with. He peels off the lid, and a loud boom could be heard throughout the tower. Hiruzen takes his hand to his eyes and wipes off the white foam from his eyes. The foam in question covered him from head to toe and his desk. You sure it was a good idea to let him do this considering how big of a mess he caused? Tenzo said, jumping down. His pants were lightly covered in the foam as well. This time, yes, since he was venting. But next time stop him if you can. Hi. Naruto is struggling to hold in his laughter while maintaining his connection to the monument. Suddenly someone tapped his shoulder. He looks behind to see Kakashi standing there with an eye smile. With a sigh, let's get this over with like that. They were gone in a flash of leaves appearing at the training ground. Naruto did his warm-up exercises, and by the time he was done, Kakashi noticed they had a visitor. Makes sense the Hokage would monitor him for the time being. I doubt Naruto could detect someone of Tenzo caliber. Naruto has a long way to go. Okay, we're going to work on increasing your combat experience, so get ready. Hi. He pulled out a kunai from inside his sleeve, preparing the charge. During this time, Tenzo watched diligently monitoring Naruto to see if the fox is tampering with him. He made sure to take notes of his skills as a ninja. He could make a decent Anbu at this rate. What am I saying? The Hokage would never allow that. Hiruzen was watching this whole thing through his crystal ball with a thinking pose as he impressed by Naruto's growth maybe. This routine continued for months on end. By the time 6 months had passed, Naruto was bordering on high gen and possible low chunin. All thanks to Kakashi constant training with the occasional input from Guy, much to Naruto protest. Tenzo reported everything to the Hokage as nothing was out of place from what he saw. Enough for today, Naruto. I feel so much stronger than I did when we first started my training, he said with a massive smirk. You've improved faster than I thought possible for someone of your age. Thanks, Kakashi-senpai, and I've mastered all those jutsu Gigi gave me to practice a while back. Not all of them. You still have to learn the clone jutsu. Naruto floored himself. He still can't master that jutsu as it proved time and time again to be a massive pain. Well, I'm going to teach you a variant that's not the afterimage one. This one should prove useful to you. Really, what is it? I hope I don't regret this. He put his hand in the proper hand sai and summoned a shadow clone of himself. Whoa, that's cool. So what makes this one so special? Unlike the regular clone jutsu you struggled to make, which are illusions, these are solid. He and his clone take their respective kunai strike only to block each other. Kakashi undid the jutsu. Think you're ready for this jutsu? Of course, I'm ready. I didn't train for months on end for nothing, if you say so. Naruto got into stance using the same hand signs as Kakashi and using his chakra control shadow clone jutsu. In a puff of smoke, another Naruto appears but not a perfect one. He was still a little sickly but better than his regular clone. They stare at each other. Whoa, you're me, they said in unison before the clone poofed away. Now, I must warn you, this jutsu is dangerous as it forces you to split your chakra evenly amongst your clones. Got it, Kakashi-senpai? Let me finish. Naruto held a guilty look on his face. As I was saying, this jutsu forces you to split your chakra. Because of this, you can easily use up all your chakra if you're not careful. But it means they can fight for you, and you gain all the memories and experience your clones gathered, so this can speed up your training several times. Cool, I want you to continue practicing this jutsu till you get it right. I'll be right here if you need any help. Kakashi pulls out a little orange book to pass the time. It took hours, but Naruto manages to master the jutsu to no surprise to Kakashi, given his bloodline and the fox spirit. I'm done, he shouts proudly. Nice job, Naruto. You've mastered this jutsu. So, what do we do now? Well, as far as learning and mastering jutsu, you're gonna have to do that on your own. All I can do now is increase your combat experience at this point, he said with an eye smile. Does that mean I'm a ninja now? For me, yes, but we'll have to go to the Hokage to confirm it. He pulls out a kunai. With a smirk, Naruto pulls his out as well, and the two are spare for the rest of the day to increase Naruto's combat skills. Nearing sundown, Natsu stood outside the Hokage office, waiting for Kakashi's meeting with the Hokage to end. The door opens, revealing Kakashi. You can come in now. He enters, trying to hold in his excitement, hoping he'll become a ninja. So Gigi, am I a ninja now? I've been watching you train over the past 6 months. I'm thoroughly impressed with your growth. You are officially a ninja of Konoha. Wahoo! He shouts, bouncing around the room. However, in an instant, Naruto's enthusiasm was killed. What is it? It is true your strength warranted you becoming a ninja. Unfortunately, you lack judgment and field experience of ninja at your strength. What do I have to do? He deadpanned. For now, you won't have an official rank amongst our force until you have the necessary skill needed. Then what should I do first to gain this, whatever it's called? He scratched his head in confusion. For now, you do D-rank jobs like every other genin and fill in a spot for squads that lack a member for whatever reason. Kakashi, mind giving him a new change of clothes befitting of a ninja? Hiruzen gave Naruto a proud smirk. With pleasure, Lord Hokage. After a quick trip to the store, getting a new look, his pants and shoes stayed the same, but he still had the chainmail vest, this time plaid over the chainmail, for a top. He also wore an orange long-sleeve shirt with a black denim sleeveless jacket with a red swirl on the back. That not all. Naruto now wears the same mask as Kakashi and a bandana. Kakashi, is the mask and bandana essential? Yes, for now, the Hokage wants to keep your status as a ninja a secret for the time binging. I requested your headband be a bandana as your spiky blonde hair is a dead giveaway, Kakashi informed. I guess that makes sense, so when do I get my headband? Tomorrow's, as it's nighttime now, so very few people will recognize you in your new uniform. Sweet, can we get some Ichiraku ramen in the meantime? I'm starving after all this training. I suppose it couldn't hurt to get some food in our bellies. The two ninjas headed off to Ichiraku ramen unknown to Naruto. He'd run into some familiar faces. Ichiraku ramen. Hey Naruto, it's been a while, so how's the training? Teuchi asked, recognizing Naruto immediately. Good. I'm a lot stronger now, and guess what? He leaned over and whispered, I'm a ninja now. Well, in that case, your ramen on the house as a congratulation present. Really? Yes, just don't overeat. After all, I have to run a business. Party pooper. He took off his mask and bandana. It was at this time a kid with a pineapple haircut was walking by. Naruto, is that you? He looks behind him to see Shikamaru alongside his dad and Choji. Sup guys, been a while. I take it your training is up for the day? Shikaka asked. More than done, he's officially a ninja today, Kakashi added. And oh way, Choji said with glee. I must admit I never thought it would happen this quickly, Shikaka added. Naruto doesn't know how to give up, so I wasn't surprised he made it this far now that he has a proper teacher, Teuchi added, eyeing Kakashi with a smirk. Kakashi didn't say a thing. He pulled out his little orange book, hoping it would discourage attention towards him. Everyone just left him alone for the night. So, Naruto, what does the Hokage have planned for you? The Jonin commander asked. Because I lack field experience and judgment. Whatever that means, so for now, I'll be subbing for members in squads for now or something, he said blankly. Interesting. He sat down to order some ramen for him and the others. I might have a use for him, but I should run this by the Hokage first. Sweet, Choji shouts, grabbing a seat. Shikamaru lazily took his seat as well since it was clear they'd be here for a while. For the remainder of the night, Naruto and his friends played catch-up on everything that went for them since they last met. You're kidding. No, Hinata changed a lot since you were gone. Who would have thought she'd stand up to the other girls for trash-talking me? After all, she normally hides in the background. Yeah, she rivaling Sasuke as the top of the class. Who would have guessed? So what does Droopy Brow think of me being gone? Hard to get a read on that guy other than the irritating look he has when the girls fawn over him, well except for Hinata. I see you're still as lazy as ever, he said, smirk getting chuckles all around. Shikamaru scoffed at that. Yeah, well he couldn't finish. He knew it was a lost cause. Okay boys, it's getting late. I better get Choji home, or his mom will have a fit. With his piece spoken, he left Naruto and Kakashi to their own devices. Man, I am stuffed. I'm gonna head home, see ya Kakashi and Teuchi. Bye, they said in unison. In no time at all, Naruto made it to his humble abode and collapsed on his bed, drifting off to sleep. That's what it looks like on the outside, and it is valid to some extent. But this time, Naruto is having a meeting with a particular spirit. Naruto mind. Naruto stands across a giant room with a massive gate separating him from his tenant. They just stared down at each other in a never-ending staring contest, each trying to break the other. Stare all you want, boy. You won't break me. Who said I was trying to break you? Then why are you here in your sleep staring me down? He said with an evil chuckle. I'm trying to find out how you tick. Those are some big words coming such a small and weak human. I'm not weak, I'm a ninja now. Sure you are. But how do you know they didn't make you one out of fear if they denied you? What would you do then? Naruto couldn't say anything in response. I win this round like all the other times, haha. Naruto left his mindscape to get some sleep. He sure is getting persistent, but he'll need my power if he wants to live a life as a ninja. Damn you, fourth Hokage, for sealing me in your brat. The next morning, Natsu woke and did his morning routine, from breakfast to his warm-up exercises. This will be the first day Kakashi or Guy isn't training me, he said to himself. After everything was done, he prepared to meet the Hokage to get his Leaf Village headband. Thanks to all that training, he made it there in seconds without alerting any of the villagers. Yo, Gigi, I'm here for my headband. He walks into the Hokage office. Here you go, Naruto. He handed him the specially made headband. He put it on with his mask, and as Kakashi said, the bandana covered spiky hair in combination with his new mask. It also had the benefit of hiding his mood. That last comment from the fox left a mark on his psyche, and he knew the fox would milk it for all it's worth. Thanks, Gigi. What are my first orders? For the time being, Shikaku might have some work for you. Shikaku walked in. You again? I've been talking to Kakashi about your progress. You could be useful to me, but aren't you the Jonin commander? Why would you need someone like me? Simple, you're small and nimble based on what Kakashi said, so you could prove useful on scouting missions. Go on. For now, you will start on easy missions, but as you grow in strength, they will get harder. And if I refuse? It's D-rank mission till I say otherwise, Hiruzen said with a smirk. Naruto shuddered at that as he heard from Genin how trivial D-ranks are. Deal. So when do I start? Right now. I need you to scout the area ahead of a convoy guarding our feudal lord's niece. Sounds easy enough. Where am I heading? I'll escort you. Naruto looks to see a member of the Anbu standing beside him with a tiger mask. Tenzo will take you there. He'll guard the girl, while you scout ahead for any enemies just scouting. From what Kakashi mentioned, you know how to use the shadow clone jutsu, correct? The Anbu agent said. Yeah, it took me a few hours to master it. Impressive indeed. Meet me at the village gates in 30 minutes. Take this time to gather your gear. This could take up to 2 days. Hi was Naruto's response, and the two went off, leaving Hiruzen and Shikaku to themselves. Wait, how old is this girl again? And isn't her name Yukino or something? Yes, that is her name, and she's 2 years older than Naruto. I got a bad feeling all of a sudden. For the girl? No, Naruto. If she anything like the girls Shikimura mentioned in class, this could not end well for him. Hiruzen had an evil smirk. What are you planning? If all goes well, I'll have an ace up my sleeve when Naruto does something stupid like a prank, hehe. Now that I think about it, would that be such a bad thing also? Why do you have an Anbu team up with Naruto? This normally isn't their kind of thing? When you mentioned this mission a few days ago, I planned on using it to see how Naruto will fit in the village forces. Who knows, he may be the youngest Anbu agent we have. Indeed, back to your duties. Shikaku went back to his duties as the Jonin commander. Village gate. By the time 25 minutes have passed, Naruto was at the gates waiting on Tenzo. To say Naruto was anxious was an understatement. This was his first real job, and as a ninja of Konoha, he packed enough ninja gear to last and some spare rations. He learned to pack light when traveling with Kakashi all over the land of fire. So you're the new ninja? Naruto looks to see the gate's guards. He is freaking out. He didn't want his status as a ninja to be revealed out of the gate. Relax, Kakashi told us what's going on. Most of the Jonin know and select few Chunin, a guy with spiky hair and cloth across his face said. He let out a sigh of relief when he noticed a presence in the tree. Impressive. Tenzo jumped down the bush nearby. The two headed off to the target in a flash. Never thought Naruto would get that strong in so little time, one of the gate guards said to his partner. Yeah, that's Kakashi for you. Maybe the Hokage will give him a decent group of genin to train for once. I doubt he never considers his previous genin students, and he'll probably fail the next squad he gets assigned. Yeah, you're probably right about that. With Naruto, he's faster than I thought. Tenzo thought as Naruto was keeping pace with him. So Tenzo, what's the plan when we meet up with this girl? This girl is the niece of our feudal lord, so show some respect when we reach our destination. So, what's her name? If you don't mind me asking. Her name is Yukino. We are escorting her from a small village on the border to the palace, where she will be staying from now on. Why? Her father, the feudal lord's younger brother, was a simple businessman working an honest living when he tragically passed away unexpectedly. You don't think her father was assassinated, do you? Unfortunately, that seems to be the logical conclusion, but it's too early to tell. If her father is related to the feudal lord, then why would he be working like a villager if he's connected to the feudal lord? I honestly couldn't tell you other than he was very hands-on. He didn't like things being handed to him on a silver plate. What about her mother? She died from illness a few years ago, with no parent to watch after her. The feudal lord decided to move her to his palace for her protection so that she can be cared for properly. Guess that makes sense. So what would I be doing exactly when we get there? When we arrive, there will be several jonin guarding her. My fellow Anbu will serve as extra protection. You will be scouting ahead since the route goes through some rugged terrain perfect for an ambush. I'm starting to get a rough idea. Starting, it should be obvious. Then again, he is a kid, but Kakashi trained him. He should be able to make logical conclusions on mission details. It seems I have my work cut out for me if he meets our expectations. The two continue in relative silence until they reach their objective. When Naruto landed, all eyes fell on him. Tenzo, are you serious about this kid? A jonin said. I am. Shikaku thought he could be useful, and the Hokage approved. This is his first mission as a ninja of Konoha. Wait, this kid is a ninja. Kakashi trained him. Have some faith in him, another jonin added. So, what are my orders? There are 9 of us in total, including you, that 4 jonin, for Anbu and whatever your rank is. The jonin will form a standard 4-sided barrier, 1 on each side, and Anbu will tail us as backup. Your job with the shadow clones is to scout ahead of us. Check for any sign of an ambush. What's your name? My name is Asuma Sarutobi, the one leading this entourage to our feudal lord's home. Okay, So have my clone check every nook and cranny for enemies? Yes. And what about me? Do I stay here, or do I scout with my clones? You will stay here to relay to us what information your clones gather. Is that understood? Hi. Good, now let's get to work. Who are you? A little girl said, poking her head out from her coach. The girl in question wasn't much older than Naruto. Her defining feature was her light blue long hair and her formal attire. Other than that, nothing was out of place than an average girl of her age. Naruto was hesitant at first but ultimately gave in as Asuma flat out demanded him to introduce himself. My name is Naruto Uzumaki, ninja of Konoha, he said respectively. She scoffed at that. You a ninja, aren't you a little young to be a one? She said with a smirk. To Kakashi credit, it took 2 jonin to hold Naruto back from doing something stupid, causing her to laugh. This irritated Naruto even further. Naruto, our job is to protect her, or do I need to tell the Hokage about your book of future pranks? Tenzo said stoically. Let not get ahead of ourselves. You have my word. We'll get you to your destination safely, Lady Yukino, he said nervously. Why are boys always so prideful? She pulled her head back into her coach. Naruto sat on the front seat of the coach with the driver to his side. He sat there patiently, waiting for what his clones could gather. Asuma, one of my clones sent word of a large crevice to the right about a kilometer away. It fairly deep. One clone scouting out right now. Affirmative, stop. The coach came to a stop. 2 minutes later, it's all clear. My clone found a small stream eroding the rock. He then created 10 more clones to aid the remaining 8 clones. Proceed, he shouts, allowing them to continue onward. Naruto, let me know if anything comes up. Hi. This continued for the remainder of the day as it would take 2 days to reach their destination. Naruto sat by himself away from the jonin since the Anbu were still on the clock. Naruto, why don't you sit with us? You sure, Asuma-senpai? You're a ninja, aren't you? He couldn't stop the grin from forming, rushed over to them around the campfire. Binging so young, the other towered over him. He looks to the side to see their client sitting with the coach driver and a few other people. He can only assume they're with the feudal lord's niece. So how much farther till we reach the feudal lord home? If all goes well, tomorrow afternoon, Asuma informed. Naruto pulled his mask down to drink his tea and the ration he brought along. Okay Naruto, you got first to watch for the night. Me, what about the Anbu guys? They're a part of the mission too. He looked around and didn't see them anywhere. This is more training for you than an actual task. How so? Sleep deprivation training, as that's something you'll have to get accustomed to when the time comes on a mission. Fine. While the other jonin and the others took some much needed rest for the next day, Naruto was forced to stay up. Not wanting to drain his massive stamina to begin with, he took a seat on a low-hanging branch watching the moonlight up the night sky. Naruto made sure to check the time when everyone went to bed. It was at 8 o'clock. 6 hours later. If he read the time right, it was 2 in the morning for the young ninja, and he reached his limit. For the next 45 minutes, he was fighting himself to stay awake as this was training for him, and he didn't want to disappoint his senpais. Unfortunately, it was a losing battle as he couldn't hold on much longer before falling out of the tree. But before he hit the ground, 2 strong arms caught him with the last of his strength. He saw a glimpse of Tenzo before everything faded to black. Impressive, his first time of sleep deprivation training. Another Anbu agent added with long purple hair. Yes, he did. But he'll need all the sleep he can get for tomorrow. You sound like something bad might happen? Just erring on the side of caution as the area up ahead is a bit unstable, but it's the shortest route to the palace. True, we better get some shut-eye ourselves then. Indeed. Morning. Naruto was woken up by the glass of water pouring into him. Wake up Naruto, Asuma said. Fine, what time is it? 7:30. How long did you stay up? Just before 3 in the morning, he tried to wipe the sleep from his eyes, letting out a yawn as he got up. For your first time, that pretty impressive. Then again, you're young too. I'll take what I can get, he grunted, getting chuckles all around. After getting some morning grub and some tea, Naruto was mostly back to normal. Shadow clone jutsu. 10 poofs of smoke appeared, revealing 10 Narutos who leapt off in all directions, searching for any places for an ambush. He let out a sigh as he sat down next to the carriage driver. This went on for till lunchtime. The caravan stopped, refueled, and continued onward, when Naruto sent off 10 clones like before, only to retrieve their memory shortly after that. Stop. 2 of my clones just disappeared. What did they see? One slipped off the water-drenched rock, no doubt from the early morning dew. The other found an entrance to a shady crack on the rock side. I'll send more clones to investigate. He summons 10 more, and in the clouds of smoke, he had one stay behind so he can go on ahead. He didn't like doing this, but in the clone's perioral vision that slipped and fell, he noticed the rock's dark spot. After some light running, he found the spot. Using one of that jutsu he got from the Hokage, he placed his hand on the rock near the area and pulsated his chakra into the earth. After a few minutes, he felt movement, and it was heading for the caravan. Crap, I had to switch places with the clone. It would take him 5 minutes to make it back, assuming the enemy takes their time. With the others, things were going smoothly for a few minutes when suddenly a projectile came out of nowhere, dispelling their Naruto. Crap, if our Naruto was a clone, where's the real one? Suddenly a dark spot formed of the rock making up the area to the right of them, only to grow before revealing a ninja with a scratch IWA headband. Hand over the girl, and you'll all live to see another day. Like hell, we will. One of the jonin shouts as all of them get into their battle stance. The lone man casts various earth jutsu, trying his best to take out the Jonin. Asuma and the other were in a good position as one side was the mountainside, and the other was the deep canyon. We have to move the girl. Get out of here, we'll keep him busy, he shouts to the driver. The drive took off with the coach, but he didn't make it very far, and the rogue ninja caused a rock slide blocking the path. At this time, the Anbu stepped in to help, but multiple rogue IWA ninja intercepted them. You think I was foolish enough to do by myself, he said in a sadistic tone. He took his sweet time fighting the Jonin one after another till only Asuma was left. Where are you, Naruto? With Naruto. Naruto was just around the corner when something started to form from the rock around them. With a kunai in hand, he was facing down what he can only be described as a golem. Damn, I have to get past this guy soon. The golem stood and began swinging its arm in a circular motion. Suddenly several rock projectiles were fired towards him. He manages to dodge most of them, but one got a lucky shot on his left shoulder. Damn, a few more of those, and I'm a goner. Think Naruto, this guy element is earth, what's strong against earth. Then it hit him. Lightning. But he doesn't know any lightning ninjutsu. Guess I'll just have to keep pounding away till he breaks. 8 poofs of smoke later, and he had a little army of Narutos. They charge at the golem, punching and slashing every which way they can, only for all to poof away. Damn it, there has to be something I can do, wait. He pulls out a handful of paper bombs, this just might do it. He summons a handful of more clones and hands one each a paper bomb before charging again. The golem spins up its arms up once more, taking out all the clones at a cost. The plan worked. The golem is now covered in papa bombs. Boom! The paper bomb did the trick and allowing him to meet up with the rest. Naruto raced around the bend to see a sight of complete horror. Everyone, and he mean everyone, is down for the count. The guy from earlier took out his fellow ninja, including the Anbu. From the looks of it, they reached their limit. But it wasn't a complete loss as only the head guy remained. Say goodnight, girlie, he says with a sinister smile as he slowly approaches her. No! I can't let this guy get away with this, he shouts. Using all his remaining chakra, he charged at the man. Yukino was scared to her core as this man before slowly reaching towards her. The boy from earlier tackled the guy out of the way. She couldn't stop the smile from forming as he tacked this guy over the edge. But it only lasted a moment as when Naruto bounced off him. The guy grabbed hold of him. I'm not going down that easily. He grabbed hold of Naruto as he falls over the edge. Naruto! Everyone shouts none more, so then Asuma. He runs after him only to be stopped at the edge by Tenzo. Let go of me. We have to get Naruto. Our objective is the safety of Yukino. Naruto knew the risk. Are you kidding me? He's our comrade. He may be a kid, but still, he shouts back. That's all he could say before the unmistakable feel of Nine-Tailed Fox's chakra overwhelmed them all. They look over the edge only to see an orange/red glow from below. Moments earlier with Naruto. Damn it, is this how it's gonna end for me falling to my death with this bastard? Those thoughts ran through his head as he faded into the black abyss. In the seal. In the dark shadow of the seal, the nine-tailed fox opens one of its large eyes before being enveloped in a cloak of red chakra. You can do better than that, Naruto. He was eyeing down a guest in his prison. With Naruto, as he descends into the darkness, he was filled to the brim with fear. Then the world around him felt like it stopped for him. Only to feel a new power. The fear washed away only to be replaced with rage. His sapphire blue eyes are gone, replaced with slit red eyes. His fingernail grew to sharp points, claw-like in nature if you could see him now. His whiskers mark on his cheeks thickened, and to top it off, his entire body was covered in a cloak of red chakra with a single tail. Using his new strength, he broke free from the man's grapes and attempted to grab onto the side of the rock wall, only for it to break away. It didn't take long for them to reach the bottom. You're tougher than you look, kid, the man said, getting into a stance as he stared down Naruto, who landed not far from him. You have no idea who you are messing with, bastard. He stands there in an animalist stance. His headband fell off from the overwhelming power of Nine-Tailed Fox's chakra. Not wanting to take any chances, he charged with unparalleled speed, catching the missing ninja off guard. Naruto punched the man with his chakra-infused fist, sending him flying only to be embedded in the rock wall. The man can only laugh at this, breaking free from his confines. Look like I'll have to go all out then. Using a jutsu Naruto never seen before, the man has 3 boulders the size of a man float in the air before compressing to his head's length. I don't have time, so I'll have to use this just to end this quickly. He sends the orbs straight toward Naruto with speed rivaling his own. Using his new speed, Naruto charged, intending to end this quickly. He dodges the first one, and the second, and with another punch completely obliterated the third one. When the third orb shattered, fear washed over the man as his strongest jutsu was rendered powerless against him. Naruto punched him in the gut with so much force it shatters the rock wall around him. When Naruto pulled his hand back, covered in blood, but he didn't have time to dwell on it as the unstable rock started falling on top of him from his earlier punch. Damn, I have to get the hell out of here. He jumps from one rock to another till he reaches a stable wall and climbs upward, not knowing how far he fell. While the Jonin and Anbu had experienced this chakra before, they can fight it off. However, the non-ninja were overstricken with fear. Asuma went to check on the girl only to see her frozen with hollow eyes. Then suddenly, a giant red hand made of chakra shot out of the abyss, grabbing onto another rock wall, pulling Naruto out. He lands on the ground with a thud as the red chakra evaporates away, leaving him unconscious. A wave of relief washed over everyone, especially Yukino. Tenzo goes over to see if Naruto is alright. He notices in his headband clutched tightly in his hand, causing a smile to form behind his mask. Is Naruto alright? Asuma said weakly. From what I can see, he's fine, just exhausted is all. I can't blame him for pulling that off, Kat said, walking over. So what do we do now? One of the jonin said. Let's make sure everyone alright before moving out, Tenzo said. What about Naruto? Asuma had to ask. We'll discuss this with the Hokage when we get back. For now, let him rest, or we all be dead right now. Just our luck to run into IWA ninja in the mountains, another jonin said. They cleared the path and got everyone squared away, and after an hour of rest, they continue onward. Still, out of commission, Naruto was left to rest in the coach opposite side of Yukino, who still held some fear in her eyes. Unknown to everyone, exposure to the nine-tailed fox's chakra unlocked something hidden within her blood. While Naruto was fighting, her mind was elsewhere. Flashback start. The moment Yukino felt the evil chakra, everything around her faded to black before finding herself in front of giant cage doors. Where am I? You are in my prison, human girl, a deep gravelly voice said beyond the cage doors with two giant red eyes. Why am I here? It seems exposure to my chakra unlocked an ability hidden in the blood that flows through your veins. Who are you? Ha ha ha. I am your worst nightmare, he would have continued, but stopped. He could feel Naruto asking him to keep his mouth shut. Yukino couldn't do anything but stand there, hoping she'd be released from this scary place. Suddenly she found herself back in the real world. She looks outside to see the boy from earlier passed out on the ground. Flashback end. The remainder of the trip was, fortunately, uneventful, but the entire time, she couldn't take her eyes off Naruto, who was still sleeping. Amazing how someone so young is a ninja. He went out of his way to protect me, putting his life on the line. And I mocked him earlier about it. Guilt weighed heavy on her heart. She made a mental note to apologize to him when he wakes up, but for now, she pondered what happened when she felt a wave of evil wash over her after he fell. As she looks over him, she couldn't help but find him a tiny bit cute for a knucklehead. Feudal Lord's Palace. Ah, Yukino, nice to see you again, the daimyo said with grace. Uncle, so glad to be here. She ran and hugged him. I greatly appreciate you guarding my niece during her trip here. I hope it wasn't too much trouble. Not at all, Naruto said, covered in bandage along with the other. After all, we're ninjas. It's in the job description. This got a grin all around. Well, we will take out leave now, Asuma said. Bye Naruto, hope I can see you again. Yukino shouts, waving him off. We'll see one day, he shouts back as he heads home after a strenuous mission. Who is that boy, Yukino? His name is Naruto Uzumaki, a new ninja of Konoha, uncle. Interesting, his mind appreciating how the Hokage could produce such a young, capable ninja. With Naruto. For your first mission, you did a good job, Naruto, Asuma said. Thanks, gotta thank Kakashi-senpai for training me. Hey, where are Tenzo and the others? They were with them earlier. He looks to the side 1 second, and they were gone. They went on ahead to report to the Hokage. Okay then, so how long will it take us to get back to the village? 3 days if we walk. Why don't we treat the kid to a hot spring for doing a good job on the mission? One of the jonin said. Are you serious? Naruto asked skeptically. Why not? It would help relieve these aches and pains. The nearest one only a couple of hours away. We can stay the night. Sounds like a plan. After 2 hours of walking, they made it to one of the hot spring hotels that dot the land of fire. Man, this feels good, Naruto mumbled as he sank into the water. You can say that again, Asuma chimed in, taking a spot not too far from him. So, this is what a hot spring is like. You've never been in a hot spring, Naruto? No, the one in the village never let me in. There are some natural hot springs in the forest outside the village. I heard from Kakashi, but I didn't get a chance to check them out when he was showing me around the land of fire. That sounds like him. They are getting some much-needed R&R. The Hokage Tower. Hiruzen just got the mission report from Tenzo, emphasizing what happened with Naruto and the nine-tailed fox's chakra. I hate to admit it, but we probably would have been dead it wasn't for Naruto, Tenzo stated. No, you wouldn't. I beg your pardon? First off, it was an ambush. An ambush is meant to give you the upper hand. If you weren't caught off guard, this wouldn't have happened. He likes teasing his Anbu when the opportunity arises. Tenzo couldn't argue with him as they did not expect the guy to merge and through rock. What about Naruto? The appearance of the nine-tailed fox's chakra changes everything. He can't be a ninja now. How so? He said in an amused tone. If he continues to be a ninja, the chances of the fox spirit getting out is all but certain. Lord Hokage, I see your point, but Naruto will still be an active ninja after he recovers. What about the fox's chakra? I want to see what happened from here. This is mere speculation. The fox gave his power to Naruto to survive the fall. After all, if Naruto dies, he does as well. And if the fox's chakra goes out of control, I want you to keep an eye on him for the time being when he returns to the village. For how long? A month. And if anything comes up, alert me immediately. Hi, and he was off. Naruto, I hope for your sake you can control the fox's chakra on your own, as there are powerful ninjas who would love to get their hand on you. His thoughts went to Danzo. 2 days day. Finally at the village, he shouts, walking in with Jonin right next to him. Hold your horses. We have to give our report to the Hokage. But isn't that why the Anbu guy left early? That was their report. Now it's ours, so get moving. Fine, Just let me get something to eat first. He walks away with a pout to Ichiraku ramen. During his walk, he was getting a few looks. He deduced it was from his mask and headband covering his face. Looks like I'll have to deal with this for a while. He made it. Ichiraku pulled down his mask and gave Tochi his usual order. Where you been the last few days, Naruto? I had an important mission to do. Really, was it hard? You bet. We were tasked to escort the niece of the feudal lord to his home as her parents both passed away. So was she pretty? He teased. No. She was irritating. Disrespected that fact. I'm a ninja, he said, pointing to his headband. What this I hear? Naruto got a girlfriend. I am teased. She not my girlfriend. Whatever the means, Tochi and I am couldn't help but chuckle. Just wait till you get older, Naruto, Tochi thought with a smirk as he handed him his order. Naruto ate his meal in silence when he felt a familiar presence behind him. With one final slurp, he finished his meal and turned to see Iruka before him. Nice seeing you, Iruka-sensei. Iruka was happy to see Naruto again. Still, right now, his whole focus was on the leaf insignia on his headband. You're a ninja, Naruto? You bet. Kakashi-senpai was tough, but I'm a ninja now. I just got back from a mission earlier today. I'm on my way to give my report to the Hokage. I'd like to talk to the Hokage myself, he said in a thinking pose. More than welcome to join me. He pays for his meal. He pulls his mask up and walked toward the Hokage tower with Iruka not far behind. On their way, Naruto ran into some old classmates. Thankfully, they didn't recognize him. Iruka-sensei, a girl with pink hair, called out, and next to her were a few of the other girls in her class. Yes, what is it, Sakura? I just wanted to ask you about the test tomorrow. What about it? I'm sorry I wasn't paying attention, so I missed what you said. And my mother is asking about it. This got nod from the other girls. If they stopped fantasizing about Sasuke, they would know, tomorrow, an exam to test your skill to go up 1 year. Okay, thank you. Yeah, thanks, all the girls said. Hey, who this? A blonde-haired girl said, pointing to Naruto. Who I am is none of your business, Naruto said in a gruff voice, hoping to hide his identity. He waved goodbye to Iruka as it seems he is busy at the moment. Isn't he a little young to be a ninja? One of the girls said a little too loudly, causing Naruto to stop for a brief moment before continuing onward, noticing the tension in his former student at the comment. Age isn't everything when it comes to being a ninja. He's proven it with his headband, he said in a chastising tone, causing them all to flinch. Far away from the group stood a girl with dark hair. Naruto truly has become strong. She watches him continue his way to the tower. When Naruto reaches the door, he knocked on it. You can come in. He walks in. I'm here to give me a report, Gigi. The Anbu gave me most of the detail. I just need to know what happened on your end. Hi. He went into everything that happened to him, all the way up to the tackled with clarity. What about when you tackled the enemy ninja? That's the thing. All I remember was tackling him over the edge. Then I wake up in Yukino's coach. I'll send some Anbu to search the area for anything left behind. Naruto waved goodbye and left. Naruto looks like you might be better off in the Anbu. He gazed over the report Tenzo gave him from one of his wood clones said afterward. Naruto suddenly shot up out of bed, breathing heavily as sweat glistened on his forehead. He looks out his window. He's greeted with night sky with a full moon shining over the village. It's been 1 week since he returned to the village, and every night since then, he had a flashback of his fight. The part that scared him the most was when he pulled out his hand from the enemy cover in crimson red blood. I didn't think killing someone would have this big of an effect on me. He gazed at the hand that struck the finishing blow. He stayed up for about 10 minutes, still shaking from the memory before sleep reclaimed him for the night. Outside his window on a tree, a man in Anbu gear watches Naruto from a tree branch across from his home. Should have guessed this would happen to him, but if he wants to be a ninja, he has to deal with this. 1 week later, Hokage Tower. You called Lord Hokage, Tenzo said, standing before the leader of the village. Yes, it concerns the feudal lord's niece. Did something bad happen? I wouldn't say that, but apparently she can deduce people with less than kind intentions. What do you mean? It seems she able to sense the intention of people who come to see the feudal lord over the past 2 weeks with 100% accuracy. How can this be? I have a feeling it has to do with that mission from 2 weeks ago. Exposure to the fox's chakra must have awakened an ability unknown to Yukino. Well, this unexpected. What are you going to do? I need to confirm this myself. I'm going to meet the girl personally. Hopefully, help her deal with a new ability, and she'll gain some control over it. But that would require leaving the village, which I highly advise against in case our enemy tries to attack. I'm aware of that. I have trust in my shinobi to protect our home while I'm gone. And what of Naruto, since he seems to be the cause of this? We'll tell him when the time comes. How is he doing since the mission? He'd been training every day since then, waiting for another mission, and he seems to be getting over his recurring nightmares. Well, it's nice to see him making progress. I just wish he didn't have to go through that. It can't help as death is forever part of the life of a ninja, he said, respectively. You may go now as I have a trip to prepare for. Hi, he said before disappearing in a cloud of smoke, with Naruto. Naruto is on his way to the Sarutobi compound. He's meeting up with Kakiko after not seeing her in a while. They've met up a few times since she came to the village. The training was always getting in the way, but not today. Today was a break day for her, and he wanted to see her progress as a ninja. When he made it to the entrance, he was greeted with her presence. Nice to see you again, Naruto. Same here, Kakiko. So what do you want to do today? he said with a grin with his hand behind his head. Can we go to one of the training fields? I want to show off my skills. Fine by me. He led her to a nearby training field that thankfully was empty. Show me what you got up those sleeves, he looks to Kakiko, seeing her wear black pants that go down to her ankles, ninja sandals with ninja pouch, and a kunai holder. For a top, she wore a white t-shirt with mesh under it visible from her neck opening, a black open vest jacket with sleeves going down to her elbows. No matter how much time has passed, he was still mesmerized by her mismatched eyes. She started building up her chakra using the proper hand signs. Suddenly the water from the nearby river started moving before shooting to Kakiko. She caught the stream of water with one of her hands, engulfing it before being whipped around. So it's a water whip jutsu? With a smile, more than just that, suddenly, the water spikes formed along the water whip. Kakiko unleashed its destructive power by slashing the ground, causing chunks of earth to go flying. Whoa, that's amazing. Thanks, Naruto, although I'm not sure if it's a Kekei Genkai, she said with her free hand on her chin in a thinking manner. What else can you show me? I can do basic water jutsu like the water clones, and a few more offensive ones like water bullets. Are there any non-standard water jutsu you can do, besides the whip one other so far? Can you show me? Sure, but it uses up a lot of chakras, so I can only do it once a day. In that case, take your time to make sure it's perfect. I'll keep that in mind. She went through another series of hand signs. This time the water swirled around her, forming a vortex-like barrier. Whoa, now that one's cool, he chirped. Not long afterward, the water fell to the ground soaking dirt around her. She had a slightly winded look in her eyes. That my limit for today, Naruto. It's your rock on me today for pulling that off. Really, thank you, Naruto, she said, bringing him into a hug for a few moments. My pleasure, and we talk about everything that happened since you started training, he said, walking to Ichiraku with her right beside him. As they made their way to Ichiraku, Natsu learned that before she could enroll in the academy, she had discovered her Kekei Genkai. This prevented her from going to the academy, for her and the safety of the other students, as she had very little control over it. Naruto was silently thankful for this, as it meant he made a friend before the villagers got to her. So what's the name of your Kekei Genkai? I don't really know. From what the Hokage said, I have advanced water manipulation. What takes regular ninja years of practice only takes me a fraction of the time. Who knows, you might be the first ninja to rival the second Hokage who, from what I could find, is a master in water style. He can create water for his jutsu using only his chakra. Amazing, I didn't think that was possible. Well, looks like you have a goal with your water ninjutsu, he said with a grin. That the perfect goal. Who knows, I might be the greatest water-style ninja ever, she said with determination. Well, I'll be there as support as it's my dream to become Hokage, he said, giving her a thumbs up. Back at Naruto. As they continued walking, trading stories, they weren't paying attention when Kakiko bumped into someone. The person in question was a boy with shoulder-length black hair and had an aura of arrogance. This boy was Sasuke Uchiha. Hey, watch where you're going, Kakiko shouts, getting back up, eyeing the boy. When Sasuke locked eyes with her, Pink lightly dusted his cheek. Sorry. This was very unlike him, as he never did this before. It was then he noticed the kid around his age with blonde hair. Naruto? He flinched at this as he wasn't wearing his usual outfit this time. He wore regular black pants, sandals, and an orange t-shirt with a swirl on it. Hey Sasuke, he said shakily. What are you doing here? He said in an annoyed tone. We're going to Ichiraku for some lunch, Kakiko interjected. Sasuke then looked between the two of them for a minute. Unknown to him, he had a tinge of jealousy toward the blonde. He got up and apologized before going on his way. Come on, let's hurry, Naruto said before they head toward the destination. Unknown to them, Sasuke was secretly following them, or, more specifically, her, and observed from an ally across from the ramen shop. Unknown to him, he was doing a terrible job of hiding his presence. All the hours of training with Kakashi had paid off, as Naruto was well aware he was spying on them. But he didn't give it any mind as he was focused on his conversation with Kakiko and eating his beloved ramen. Naruto ate 5 bowls, and Kakiko ate 2 bowls. Naruto paid for their meal before they disappeared in a flash, heading back to the training ground. Tsuchi saw the figure in the ally and called him over here. What brings you here, Sasuke? Hiding isn't your normal thing. He had a pretty good idea why he was hiding. I was just curious about what Naruto has been up to, he said, looking away. Tsuchi handed him a bowl of ramen to the boy, who reluctantly accepted. Sure you were, Sasuke, he said in a teasing tone. I'm binging serious, he said with a blush. Well, Naruto has been busy recently, so I haven't seen him in a while, and this first time he brought a girl with him. He's growing up so fast, he said with a proud grin on his face. Sasuke had a slightly angry expression at this as he continued to eat his ramen in silence. Can you tell me what Naruto has been up to since he left the academy? All I can say is he's been getting stronger. But that's all I'm going to say out of respect for Naruto. Sasuke would pay for his meal, but Tsuchi wouldn't have it, saying it was on the house. This surprised Sasuke somewhat before saying his goodbyes. He had a lot to think about after running into Naruto again and about that girl. Watching him running off, Tsuchi couldn't stop the smirk and thought, to be young again. With Naruto and Kakiko. Naruto right now was giving his friend a demonstration of his progress the last time they met. He did his shadow clones and showed off a few jutsu he learned, to like a wind manipulation jutsu called the Great Breakthrough. So, you're a wind type? Yep, It was one of the last things Kakashi taught me, and with the help of the shadow clones, I was able to learn this jutsu in record time. How does that work? He went in to explain the shadow clones jutsu and what it costs. Wow, I don't think I'll ever be able to do that if it's that dangerous. You want to be able to do water jutsu without water being present. Who knows, by the time that happens, you might be able to when that time comes. You're probably right about that one. This caused him to grin. For the remainder of the day, they spared together, honing their skills as ninja. Speaking of that, Kakiko is close to becoming a ninja. She just needs more control of her Kekkai Genkai first. Unfortunately, there is no way of knowing when that will be. With the sun going down on the horizon, they parted ways for the time being. He turned around him to see a village Anbu standing before him with long purple hair on his way home. What is it you need, cat? She brought him into a hug. Little Naruto growing up so fast and going on a date and training with a girl, she let go of him. He had a disgruntled look on his face. It's not like that. Kakiko, just a friend. I know, but it's nice to see the former prankster mature a little bit, she said, ruffling his hair. Whatever, unless there's something you need, I'm going home, he said with an exhausted look in his eyes. Hi, she said before disappearing. Damn, looks like I'm gonna have to up my training if I couldn't detect her till she let me. The next day with Hiruzen, thanks to his ninja speed, he made it to the feudal lord's palace in no time at all. He was traveled with the squad on Anbu and some jonin only to be greeted by the palace guards. They showed him the way to Lady Yukino, sitting in the palace library waiting for him. When he caught sight of her, he could see the urgency in her eyes. He takes a seat next to her. Hello, my name is Hiruzen. I am the third Hokage. What's your name, young lady? Greetings, Lord Hokage. My name is Yukino. I assume you're here to help me with my problem. Hiruzen could tell she is on edge. Yes, I will assist you. However, I can. Why don't we start from the beginning if you don't mind? Okay then. From what she could recall, this problem started shortly after Naruto and the other escorts her to her uncle's palace. She was introduced to everyone who serves her uncle, and many were kind and accepting of her, but there were a few who felt off to her. She made sure to take a note of them, and when she went to bed that night, she heard voices in her head while she slept, and many of them weren't pleasant. She didn't say anything the first few days, but as time moved on, the voices got more and more sinister. They ranged from simple irritation to almost outright treason. After all, the feudal lord is a powerful man. He has enemies. At first, no one believed her, but she convinces her uncle about one just under a week since she arrived, and it turns out she was right, which causes many others to be found out of their less than ideal intentions. That brings us to now, so can you help me? She said in a pleading voice. I would love to, and it looks like you have unlocked what we ninja call a Kekkai Genkai. Kekkai Genkai? She and her uncle said in unison. Kekkai Genkai, or bloodline limit. In other words, it's a jutsu that can't be learned. You have to be born with it. What are you saying? She said. You have a Kekkai Genkai, meaning you have chakra, so you can potentially become a ninja. But I don't see that happening considering your status as a noble. Like Naruto. She beamed. Yes, but you are a noble of the land of fire having certain responsibility, so it's not the life for you. But that doesn't mean we can't help you control this power of yours. Okay, where do we go from here? Before we continue, do you have an idea what could have caused this? She fidgeted in her seat for a moment when I was being escorted to here. A fight broke out. When things were looking the worst, Naruto saved me, but I found I was somewhere else after that. All I remember was giant cage doors and 2 giant red eyes before coming back to reality. She was on the verge of tears by the end. Hiruzen had a look of concern, the same for the feudal lord. Can you tell me what I saw? She pleaded. I'm sorry, I'm not at liberty to say, as that is a village secret, and sorry, my lord. I can't tell you either for fear of our enemies getting a hold of this information. I understand, Hiruzen. I just hope one day we can know the truth. Eventually, but not today, he said firmly. So what can you do to help Yukino? The Fire Lord said. Firstly, we need to teach you basic chakra exercises, so you have something to grasp, allowing you to control your new power. How do I do that? Since you haven't done any ninja training, it will be difficult for you. I promise I can do it, she said with determination. This causes both her uncle and Hiruzen to smile at this. For the remainder of the day, Hiruzen, with the aid of his ninja, taught her the basics of summoning and controlling her chakra. She, fortunately, was a quick learner and was able to summon up a small amount. She spent the next 2 days increasing her control and chakra levels needed for Hiruzen to help control this power of hers. They were now standing in the courtyard of opposite ends of each other. Now do the proper hand sigh and summon up all your chakra. Like this? She did the standard ram hand sigh. Exactly. Now, try and focus on someone with your chakra. She did as she was asked and focused on her uncle, who's standing by. Believe it or not, she faintly heard what was going through his head. I hope she can do this. I will, uncle, she said aloud, getting both surprises and looks of approval. For the remainder of the day, she continued the exercises and had decent control over them. Seem you got the hang of this, but this is all I can teach you. The rest you'll have to do on your own. Thank you, Lord Third. You are welcome, but I have one more thing to say. What? After doing some research, it seems you can tune your sensitivity to other people's chakra and read their minds. It started in your sleep because your conscious mind was overriding your subconscious mind while you're awake. But now that you are aware of this, you can do it while you're awake. Do you have any idea why it started now? It's commonplaces for hidden abilities to spark to life when in life-threatening situations. Yours is no different. He wanted to tell the truth, but that would cause problems later down the line if Naruto's status got out. One more thing, I highly suggest you keep this to yourself. Many individuals would jump at the opportunity to know how your jutsu works, he said in a severe tone aimed at the Fire Lord. Again, thank you, and tell Naruto I said hi, Yukino shouts with a big smile. That's a promise. Several hours later. Sir, do you mind going into further detail on what you said to the girl? One of Anbu asked. Well, from a report on the escort mission when she was overwhelmed by the fox's chakra, her body reacted unlocking the jutsu. Now I'm only speculating, but she unlocked that ability in hopes she could find the source and stop it. That's amazing? Yes, it is. Now is there anything else you want to ask? Nothing except the elephant in the room. How are we going to explain the 9 tails to Yukino as well as the Fire Lord? I'm thinking the same thing. If word of this gets out, the girl could be put in grave danger. His expression the other he deep in thought. I have a feeling she will find out on her own, another Anbu said. How so? Remember it was the fox's chakra that unlocked this ability, so it stands to reason when he makes contact with her again, she'll know right away. True, but all we can do is hope that never happens or she accepts the fact he houses the demon fox, Hiruzen added. Let's not forget Danzo and his rude agents. I can't imagine what he would do with her. When we return, I want some of you to keep a very close eye regarding the girl for the time being. Yes, Lord Hokage. With Naruto. Naruto right now is currently training to increase his senses to prevent others from eavesdropping on him. To train for this, he used his chakra to form a radio antenna so to speak to search for his surroundings. This is the first step. Now Naruto has to train his mind and chakra to do this instinctively. He has a pretty good range thanks to Kakashi, but now he has to increase his capacity and sensitivity. That's easier said than done when others can hide their presence. Thanks to his shadow clones, he can train himself to increase his antenna's sensitivity and skills to concealment from others. It was challenging, but he could detect a faint presence in the tree line. Of course, he knew they were letting him know. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to find them in the first place. He is currently sitting on the ground with his eyes closed in an open area, trying to find his clones hidden away. Come on, try harder, you have to do this. He summons even more chakra spreading out around him. From what Kakashi describes, tiny, fine invisible spider threads spread out all around him. This is only a basic understanding. Only experience can fine-tune this ability. The next is to use those threads to detect even the faintest of changes in the given area. The changes in question can be as simple as slight airflow around a given area or the vibrations on the ground being absorbed by the new objects, or the sudden imbalance of natural energy all living creatures give off. After some time, he found 2 of his 4 shadow clones. One is high in a tree, using the foliage to block his visibility so he can focus, suppressing his chakra signature to be nearly undetectable. The other is hidden in a bush, using the natural vegetation energy to conceal his. Increasing the web, even more, he found another. This one is hidden. A greater distance away is a small ditch. He was using his chakra to be absorbed by the earth as to becomes one with it. After extending it, that last clone is hiding in the nearby river, synchronized with the river's energy flow to becomes one within like the other clone. Now that he has found all 4 clones plus the extremely well-hidden one, he has to carefully withdraw his chakra while maintaining his sensitivity to their presence. He did this slowly so he can find a minimum amount of chakras needed for this. Once he was done, he dispelled his clones, gaining their experiences. Now he learned to detect not only nearby people but also suppress his energy, or synchronize with the natural energy to become one with it so he would merely pass over it. Come on out, I know you there, he shouted. In a flash of a second, a member of the villagers Anbu stood before him. Upon inspection, the agent in question wore a tiger mask telling him he is Agent Tenzo. I must say I'm impressed you were able to detect me. Nearly, I might add, and that was because you ultimately let me find you, he deadpanned. Either way, your skills in detection and suppression are growing nicely. Thanks, so why are you here? My job is making sure the fox isn't trying to escape after our last mission together, he said bluntly as he knew it was pointless to hide his reason. Whatever. But I know there is more to your words. My other objective is to monitor your growth as a ninja. If that is all, I'm going to get some ramen. He waved him off, heading to Ichiraku. When the boy left, he had a smile on his face hidden within his mask. This boy truly could be a valuable member of the Anbu. Just hope he can get past the guilt with ending the life of his enemies. He shined away. 3 months later, October 1st. It has been nearly 7 months since Naruto left the academy. About half that time was training with Kakashi. The other half was a mission as a ninja of Konoha. In that time, the girl he sees as a sister who also sees him as a brother has finally become a ninja. Right now the 2 are sparring. He deflected a kunai aimed for his heart before dodging out of the way one of her spiked water whips. Wind-style air bullets, he shouts, sending 3 shots on compressed wind chakra. She counters the first 2 by sacrificing both her whips but was not prepared for the third one. She jumped up with some quick thinking, pulling up a water wall that exploded when it made contact with the third bullet. Using its explosive power to her advantage, she kicked back a fair way, giving her some distance. Nice one, Kakiko. Thanks, Naruto. They continued their throwing the particular chakra-type jutsu for the remainder of the day. When the sun was touching the horizon, they called it a day. You're getting stronger, Kakiko. Same for you. So ramen sounds good? You bet. They made their way to Ichiraku. On their way there, they sensed an observer but paid no mind to it, as it was pointless to stop him. The person in question was Sasuke Uchiha. It was pretty apparent to the older generation he had kush of the white-haired girl, but being a 10-year-old, he refused to acknowledge it. I swear if he doesn't stop that, I'll knock he lights out, she said bitterly. Just be glad he's still in the academy, so it isn't so bad, but he really needs to learn not to follow people around. At least it isn't every day since he wants to be a ninja. True, and we're almost to Ichiraku. Sweet, I can already smell the broth, she said with a grin. Kakiko couldn't sense it, but Naruto was well aware an Anbu agent was on their tail. He knew who it was and was always wondering why he was tailing him. Little did he know he would soon find his answer. Kakiko did have a slight change to her outfit. She now wore a black sleeveless vest with a few pouches. It also helps her blend into the background when she would leave the village on a mission with Naruto. It was a birthday gift from Naruto a month back. Who would have thought their birthdays were a month apart, making her the older of the two? Back to the mission, they did what Shikaka said he would and put them on scouting or escort mission. Nothing major, just your standard C rank. In that time, Naruto had gained the expertise and judgment Gigi was talking about when he became a ninja. Of course, when he was with his sister, he went of C ranks. When he wasn't, he went on higher B rank missions. He's only done 2 so far, and a now classified A rank mission when he took the life of man. It's been months since that job and mostly over it now, but it still lingers in his heart. The push he needed to deal with death apart from the job was when he had a mental breakdown 2 months ago. Flashback start. 2 months ago, Naruto was training like usual when he had a sudden flashback from his fight with the missing IWA ninja. He collapsed to the ground holding his head, trying to keep the memory at bay. He succeeded for now. As he was making his way home, he ran into the girl he sees as a sister. They were walking normally when the memory came back with blinding fury. Not again. He struggled to maintain his sanity when threw a chakra-infused kunai as the Anbu agent who made himself known. He dodged it and knew he had to step in before it was too late, but he wasn't fast enough. Naruto started attacking a ninja that was few feet away. He threw another kunai, but this one was stopped by the last person he wanted to hurt. Kakiko blocked the kunai without hesitation. When Naruto saw the unmistakable color of blood shoot out, all those emotions he was struggling with up till now were overshadowed by his drive to protect those who are precious to him. He bolted to her side and noticed she was still breathing. He let out a sigh of relief, but that as far as he got. He was pinned to the ground by 2 Anbu. The last thing he saw was 2 more Anbu carrying Kakiko away, presumably to the hospital before everything faded to black. When Naruto finally came to, he wasn't in his home or the hospital, heck, even TNI. He found himself in front of the cage again, with that giant red eye staring him down. What do you want this time, Fox? He said bitterly. We need to talk about what you just did. What, gonna congratulate me for harming a friend? He said sarcastically. No. Then why am I here? As much as I hate to admit it, you house me, so when something is wrong with you, it affects me too. Spit it then? Unless you want to hurt that girl again, you need to control your emotions. Or next time you go off like that again, you will die. Touching a nerve, Naruto could feel the sharp edge of his words. It's the truth. So what do you suppose I do then? I'm a ninja. Sooner or later, I'll have to deal with the death of a comrade or an enemy, he said with conviction. Naruto just stood there, barely making out the fox's features telling him he was hesitant of what words to say. You won't like it, but to keep this from happening again, I'm going to need to access your subconscious. Why? By having access, I can help you conquer your inner self so you will have better control of your emotion unless you want to strike at the girl again. Why should I trust you? You think I want to do this? If you die, I die too. I see your point. So how are we going to do this? Well, for starters, you're gonna have to step past these bars, so the connection is stronger. Naruto was reluctant at first but complied and stepped in the fox's side of the seal. Next thing he was floated into the air with Fox's hand around him before a sphere of chakra surrounded him. The next thing he sees is dark red vile chakra seeping out of him, merging with the fox's before encasing him in it. Naruto suddenly shot up, finding himself in a forest. Nice to see you finally made it. He turns around to see the fox lying down against the forest. Nothing was separating them as he stared him down. What is this place? This is the mindscape of your subconscious. That cage you were in before is your conscious mind. So, what happens next? Well, if it isn't Naruto in the flesh, he turns to the origin of the voice only to see him with red and black eyes. Who are you? Naruto was put on edge as this new Naruto slowly walked towards him. I'm you, or should I say you true self, he said sadistically. He looks at the fox for an answer, only to get a nod in response. So you're the one who made me hurt Kakiko, he said with venom. So what, she was getting in our way of showing how strong we really are. Like hell I'll let that happen. He drew his kunai, throwing it at his counterpart, who counter with his. The two Naruto went at for what felt like hours, throwing jutsu versus jutsu, kunai versus kunai, etc. The 9 tails are just sitting there watching 2 humans fight it out. Naruto has gotten smarter since he trained with Kakashi, but he is not using any of that. Instead, he used brute force, which never works. After some time, both Narutos were exhausted after their fight. You have to try harder than that to beat me, and when I win, I'll make sure no one looks down on us, he said with an evil smirk. Damn it, nothing works against him. He just counters, there has to be a way to stop him. Then a memory came to him. It was Kakiko standing in his way. This brought a tear to his eyes, knowing her harmed his sister significantly. Wait a minute, that might be at this time, he didn't do anything. He just stood there, waiting for his counterpart to make a move. Oh, I see someone finally given up. He threw wind chakra-laced kunai him. Naruto didn't try and dodge. He decided to take the attack hoping this might work. As the kunai got closer and closer, his counterpart started getting worried. He didn't have time to dwell much longer, and the sound of liquid spilling out filled the forest. When his counterpart looked him in the eyes, he saw a frown causing him to smile. The kunai slowly was absorbed by the main Naruto as the counterpart collapsed to his knees. The nine-tail had an amused expression at this. Gaki finally figured it out. Naruto walked to his counterpart, putting his hand on his shoulder to see him tear up. I wish I could have known sooner, then we wouldn't have to go through this, he said with a smile. His counterpart's body caught on fire, burning away before merging with him. Just be careful out there, will you? Those were the last words before disappearing completely. That's a promise, he said, placing his hand on his heart. Kurama, I'm ready to go back. How'd you find out my name? When his kunai hit me, all his experiences and knowledge he learns was transferred into me, including when you gave him your name, he said with a grin. Well, we better get back, Naruto. But this doesn't mean I'm going to give you my power willingly, he said evilly. We'll see one day in a flash. They were back in the sewer with the cage seal separating them. You better get going now, and just to make things clear, this is solely for my own survival. I could care less if you were consumed by darkness, the fox said in a huff. Whatever you say, Kurama. With those words, he left the seal. When Naruto finally came to, he was in the psych ward of the hospital. He looks around the room and sees both Kakashi and the Hokage sitting in the room. How long have I been out? He said, sitting up. A day or so, the Hokage informed. We need to talk, Naruto, Kakashi stated. If it's about my outburst, you don't have to worry about that anymore. He gave them a cheerful smile. Both were caught off guard at his enthusiasm after nearly killing his friend. What makes you so sure? Hiruzen asked. While I was out, Kurama helped me. Who's Kurama? The one-eyed ninja replied. You know him as the nine-tailed fox. The room went quiet for an unknown amount of time. What did the fox demon do to help you? Hiruzen said with a firm glare. Naruto recounted his time in the seal and the forest where his inner self lived. Interesting, but I guess I can see it happen considering as he put it, if you die, he dies. I feel calmer since we merged, but beyond that, it's hard to say. Oh, how's Kakiko doing? He said with guilt. She is doing fine. Luckily the kunai missed her heart by a few centimeters and only grazed her right lung, Kakashi informed. Naruto knew that as he recalled his inner self changed the kunai's path at the last moment. Can I go see her? Not right now. Kakiko should be back on her feet in a week. Okay, then I'm gonna get some rest, he said before collapsing on his bed, intending to get as much sleep as possible. Shortly after Kakiko was discharged, he begged for forgiveness, only to get a slap in the face. She had an angry expression before bringing him into a bone-crushing hug before ranting about how she sees him as a brother, and of course, she forgives him. After that, she demanded to know what went through his head, causing him to go ballistic. In the privacy of his home, not including the constant Anbu on his ass, he told her everything. Fortunately, she was very accepting of his tenant and wants to meet him. He said yes, but he doesn't know when that will be, causing her to glare at him for a moment. But he knew it was aimed at Kurama. Flashback end. Since that time, the two of them have been thick as thieves. He was both excited and dreaded what was coming up, his birthday. One thing was for certain, his year will be different for sure. They finally made it to Ichiraku Ramen and got their usual order, with Sasuke. Sasuke was watching from a distance, making sure to pick a different spot from last time. Then something very un-Uchiha-like happened. His stomach growled, blowing his cover. Knowing it was pointless, he walks up to and orders some ramen from the old man, making sure to be one seat from the two. Okay, why are you always following me? Kakiko declared boldly, causing the three males to hold their breath at her outburst. Think, Sasuke thinks. I notice you were new to the village, and I want to know who you are? He said with as close to a straight face as possible. Why didn't you do this sooner instead of waiting so long after you knocked me over? She said fiercely. If you saw Naruto, he was going white in the face as he was slightly scared of her, especially if she riled up like now. His shoulder still hurt the first time he pissed her off and made a mental note from that experience. Sasuke never got the memo, and he was paying for it. With all his remaining strength, you're not at the academy like the other kids wanting to be a ninja. I was curious since you're always with Naruto. Will for one Naruto like a brother to me, so you can get rid of those thoughts right now. And yes, I'm a ninja, she pointed to her headband wrapped around her right shoulder. Now I'm curious, how are you two ninjas so young when most kids are 12 when they leave the academy? He had a shocked expression when she showed off her ninja headband. Gigi though, it better for me to be trained personally by Jonin. This was after those ninjas from the back hills, I'm sure you know by now. He looks to Kakiko for her answer. I didn't like my life in my old village, so I came here. I was going to be in the academy, but my Keki Genkai showed itself before I could enter. You have Keki Genkai? Yes, it's advanced water manipulation, and you? Never heard of that. My name is Sasuke Uchiha. I haven't unlocked my Sharingan yet. Unknown to him, he has just not enough chakra to use it. I am a little mad I didn't get private training like you two. Trust me, Sasuke, I was trained by a Jonin, and it was hell compared to what the academy has you go through. I can confirm that, Tochi said, who was backed up by Kakiko. The night was still young, and Sasuke had a lot of questions that needed to be answered. By the time it was closing time, Naruto had eaten 10 bowls, Kakiko had eaten 5, and Sasuke ate 3. Having most of his questions answered, he waved the two goodbyes for the night. He didn't know it yet, but he was slightly relieved to hear Kakiko consider Naruto a brother, but it also irked him too because of what Itachi did. One good thing came out of this: he and Naruto seemed to have more in common than most intently thought. Maybe I should have Naruto show me his training regimen, but if it is as bad as he says, maybe I should wait. This was a rare time he showed hesitation in his quest for power. October 10th. Today was the day Naruto is now 10 years old and the day of the Kyuubi attack. Every year on this day, as far back as he can remember, he would have to stay with the Hokage for his own safety. But this year was different. Besides that, he has friends and some who are family in all but blood. This time, he was called to the Kage Tower for a special mission from the Hokage himself. He was a little saddened. It was on his birthday, but not at the same time, as it meant he was out of the village. You called me Gigi? Yes, Naruto. I have a special mission for you that could alter your ninja career in ways you never thought possible. What do you have in mind? Well, as I'm sure you noticed, the Anbu agent tailing you all these months, correct? Yeah, wait, you don't mean? Yes, after examining your progress as a ninja, I'd like to offer you a spot among the Anbu. It's not that I don't want to, but what do the duties of the Anbu entail? This impressed the Kage and hidden Anbu. Now Hiruzen is more confident. Naruto has what it takes to be an Anbu. To ask about the finer details of his own. Imagine what he is like a few years down the road. For starters, you answer to no one but me, meaning he Genin, Chunin, and Jonin answer to you unless I say otherwise. I'm listening. Hiruzen explained the finer details. Mention the answers to only the Hokage unless it's special Jonin. They are often in charge of specific departments of the ninja side of a village. So, do you accept? Am I the only one who is getting this offer? Your sister shows promise, but she still has a way to go before she is considered to join. I suppose that could work, and I accept the position as an Anbu of Konoha. God then, Tenzo and Kat jumped down to welcome him to the Anbu. So, what the first thing I need to do? Well, first get you a new uniform and assign you a code name, Tenzo said. You two take him to get his equipment. I'll think up a code name for him. Hi, all three said in unison before Shunned out of the tower. 1 second, Naruto was in the Hokage tower. The next, he was in a dark hallway. They walked him to the outfitter. He now had his sword and uniform minus the mask, as he gets that from the Hokage. I've never used a sword before, he said offhandedly. I'll teach you how to use it, Kat informed. When Naruto got in his uniform, he quite liked it aside from his favorite orange color. Don't worry, you don't have to wear that all the time, only when you're on duty, Tenzo added. So what the first thing I'll do as an Anbu? You won't do any mission for starters, as we need to incorporate your skill set into a unit first. Okay, then what next? Time to introduce you to the family. They walked him to a large room with over 100 Anbu present. So, this is the new guy and doesn't have a mask yet. Yes, Naruto has proven he can be in the ranks, so give him an Anbu welcome. Naruto was quickly pulled to the center of the room, seeing nothing but mask eye him down. The only thing left of his old outfit was his headband and face mask. Then the Hokage appears before them with a cruel smirk on his face. Everyone but Naruto cringed at this, knowing his mask would have some kind of joke to it. Naruto, here is your mask. You are code-named Kitsune. Everyone floored themselves at this, including Naruto. Are you serious, Gigi? He said, holding up his mask, not needing a brain to see the irony on his choice. I am. Are you questioning your Hokage? He said in a severe tone. Not at all, Hokage-sama, he said through his mask. He was barely able to hold back stutter. Good, now, enjoy the party. After all, it's your birthday, he said before Shunned shined away. He left all his Anbu to celebrate a new member on said member's birthday. The first thing they did as a gift was the shoulder tattoo before showing him the ropes of the Anbu. 2 hours later, Naruto deep in thought about his new life as an Anbu while admiring his sword. We can start your kenjutsu at noon tomorrow, Kitsune. Thanks, Kat. So what this about squads? Unlike the regular shinobi forces that are strict, 4-man cells which operate on various missions, Anbu have up 20 members dived into 4-man cell depending on the mission. So, what squad will I be on them? You'll be on my team with Tenzo and a few others, and our team name is Ro. That sounds cool. So when do you think I'll be ready for my first mission as an Anbu? Hard to say, but at least a month. During that time, one of the Anbu on our team will train you every day till you are at least Jonin level. What level am I at now? From what the report said in my observation, you are high Chunin level. Naruto was smiling from the praise of his skill as a ninja. Wait, do I have to keep my identity a secret? For the most part, yes, but you can tell at least one person, and I have a feeling I know who. He didn't see it behind her mask, but he could tell she had a smirk. SHIT, I was supposed to meet up with Kakiko for my birthday, he said frantically. Don't worry, we took care of that. Kakiko is waiting at your apartment right now. I suggest you hurry if you don't want to anger her. Thanks, Kat-senpai. I'll see you tomorrow. Wait. What training field are we using? Meet me back here by noon. I'll tell you the rest later. Hi, he said before he shunned Sin out of the base. When he left, Tenzo approached Kat and asked, so, how do you think he'll do in the Anbu? Only time will tell. I know you started to see him as a little brother, so don't even try and hide it. How do you really think he'll do in Anbu? I just hope he isn't afraid to do the unthinkable. She with a high level of concern in her voice. You are justified in your concerns, but from what I saw in the Hokage report when he attacks Kakiko, that won't be a problem, hopefully. I hope you're right. With Naruto, still in Anbu gear, very carefully entered his home through a secret exit through false floor tile in his room. When he came to his living room, he saw Kakiko waiting on the couch. That when she notices the Anbu, and just before she could get a word out, Naruto removed his mask. Surprise. Naruto, what are you doing wearing Anbu gear? Simple. The Hokage made me one. Kakiko was a little sad at this as it meant less mission with her brother. Seeing her concern, the Hokage said you can join too, but you have to prove yourself. He could see the fire in her eyes at his words. I'll be in the Anbu for sure. Good cause. I'll be training again starting tomorrow, so you'll be on your own then. Don't worry, I'll be in Anbu in no time. Sure you will, he said sarcastically. Kakiko was no stranger to his sarcasm, only pouted before her eyes landed on his mask, causing her to giggle. What's so funny? Your mask? The irony is palpable. He grunted at this. Anyway, I don't have to be at the training ground till noon, so let's celebrate my birthday. Old man, I'm going to kill you for making me a laughing stock. He grunted. It's been 1 month since Naruto officially joined the Anbu. Like he expected, his training was like nothing he has ever done before. After joining, his first day is a simple run-of-the-mill breakdown of the Anbu and their duties. After that was done, he spent the month doing their training regiment. To say it was tough was an understatement. Naruto never felt this sore before in his life. Thank Kami, he recovers quickly and silently. Kurama, he's sparing against Kat at the moment, learning the way of Kenjutsu. Clang! He blocks another one of her strikes before slashing at her only to miss. You're getting better, Naruto. Pretty soon your sword skill will be at a respectable level. Thanks, senpai. I know it will be some time before I can truly master this art. Well, I think that's enough for today. They both glance at the setting sun. So tomorrow is my first job as an Anbu, so where will I be stationed? Since you're so young, you'll probably be stationed at the hospital or a courier. A courier? Basically, your job is to deliver documents for the Hokage across the land of fire or throughout the village. Gotta start somewhere. Glad you understand. Well, I'll see you tomorrow. She shunned Shin away, leaving him by himself. With the shadow clone jutsu, he conjures up 10 clones dedicated to helping him train his wind nature. After about an hour, he manages to work the kinks out of the great breakthrough jutsu before calling it a day. The next day, Hokage Tower. In full Anbu gear, Naruto stood before the Hokage, waiting for his first set of orders. I hope your time in the Anbu so far has been beneficial. Tell me what your thought on the Anbu. The Hokage said. The Anbu training is harder than I expected, but it's manageable, and I've grown in strength and speed. How do you like Team Ro? They seem nice and accepting of me in the brief time I've known them, but it's hard to get a read on them then again when everyone is wearing a mask. To begin with, this got a chuckle from the two. Okay, your first assignment is to deliver these scrolls to the various clan head throughout the village, then report back for the next set of scrolls. Understood? Hi. He took the scrolls in hand and shined away. The first person on the list was Akimiski residents, who weren't too hard. He landed at the clan compound's gates to knock off the front doors as this was all new to him, and he didn't want to bargain. He didn't have to wait long before Choji's dad opened the door to see the pint-sized Anbu before him. I was wondering when you showed up. I take it you have a message from the Hokage? Hi. He handed him his scroll. Thank you, Anbu. Those were his departing words as he closed the door. Naruto headed off to the next clan and repeated this process until he reached the Hyuga compound, the list's last name. He was dreading this as he knew the Keki Genkai could sniff him out in no time. He landed at the front gates just as he was about to knock. They opened to reveal one of the many members to greet him. You must be the new Anbu we heard about. Lord Hayashi is expecting you. Naruto is taken back at this as he never would have guessed this from a Hyuga before. Very well, then lead the way. Naruto was led to the Hyuga clan office, waiting patiently after the one who leads him to hear only to knock on the door. You may enter, a masculine voice called out. With as much grace as he can muster, they enter the room only to face Hayashi with his Byakugan active. Crap, he said mentally. Relax, I was curious about who this new Anbu was. Considering he is one of its youngest members, he deactivated the Byakugan. Okay, then I have a message from the Hokage. If that is all, I will take my leave, and I hope you keep my identity a secret. You don't have to worry about that. He let out a sigh of relief before a new question came to mind. If you don't mind me asking, why would you keep this a secret as it's no secret? Everyone looks down on me because of the fox. Well, it's quite simple really. As a member of the village Anbu you work under the Hokage, as such to disrespect you would be to disrespect the Hokage. But this doesn't give you a free pass. If you screw up, very few people will come to your defense. Don't have to remind me? He said before he shunned Shin away. Naruto landed in the Hokage office, waiting for his next orders. I've completed my task, Lord Hokage. Both were thinking Naruto calling him by his title was going to take some time getting used to. Thank Kitsune, I have your next set of documents. The addresses are on the scrolls. Will I be doing this by myself? The reason I'm asking is I'm going out of the village. I don't want to be outmatched if I run into an enemy ninja. Hiruzen had a slight smile at this since it proved Naruto was learning. I suppose it wouldn't hurt to give you some backup. I'll have a member ready to go with you. Be at the west gate in 30 minutes to depart. Hi. 30 minutes later. As he goes by now, Naruto, or Agent Kitsune, is waiting in a nearby tree, practicing hiding his presence while waiting for his partner. Agent Kitsune? He looks behind him to see a fellow Anbu member wearing a monkey mask. Yes, that is me, and you? Agent Monkey. I am to aid you in your delivery. Good, I assume you have a few days of supplies then? Yes, I assume you as well? Hi, the first delivery is near the border with AIM. All in all, it should take up 3 days to complete these deliveries. Hi, with that, they were off to Border Village. Later the day, thanks to their ninja speed, it only took them a few hours to reach their destination. The location in question was the local commerce building. Not wanting to give off the wrong impression, Monkey stayed out of sight, so Naruto can do his job. Naruto shunned Shin in a nearby alley before sneaking in to meet up with the contact. It didn't take him long to find the man. You must be the courier I was told about, the older man said. My name is Agent Kitsune. These are the document I was told to deliver. He placed the scroll on his desk. I will take my leave now. Very well then, and tell the Hokage to stop by for a drink or two. Well, do, sir, he shunned Shin to his partner. 1 down, 5 more to go, Monkey. Hi. And they were off to their next target. It wasn't till the second delivery that Naruto realized the Hokage was sending him all over the land of fire. It was a good thing he had backup, as yesterday's battle proved he still has some way to go. Flashback start. Naruto and Monkey just finished their 3rd stop and on their way to the 4th recipient before a sudden boom was heard. Damn, it looks like someone is in trouble. Hi. They followed the noise only to a large group of 20 or so bandit ransacking a village. Looks like I found the occasion to use these bad boys, he said, pulling out 2 trench knives to help channel his wind nature. Monkey drew his sword, infusing it with fire chakra. The two raced toward the group, successfully dropping 1 bandit each before. Naruto bolted towards another, slitting their throat as he goes and slicing the weapons with ease. Of course, mentally, with each bandit's life he ended, he was reminded of his first kill, but after merging with his darkness, he now understands that some people deserve to die and that death is in the job description when you're a ninja. He looks at the monkey, and he was faring just as well. That was till Naruto accidentally set off a trap that blasts both of them, practically sapping them of all their chakra. Damn, I didn't think bandits were capable of this, Monkey stated, and it didn't help. Both collapsed to a knee, slightly paralyzed thanks to the electricity coursing through their systems. I knew it was a good idea to set up that trap, a loud, gruff voice stated, making itself known. The two Anbu looked to the voice's origin to see a tall, muscular man wear ninja-based clothing indicated by the scratched mist ninja headband. Shit, Kitsune, that Romulus, missing ninja from Kiri. Romulus, I heard about him when I went through the bingo book the other day. He's A rank, correct? Yeah, and I hate to say, but I don't know if we can beat him in our condition. I know what you mean. I can tell you're still a little green like me, that I won't deny, but we got to figure out a way to break his hold on us. I have an idea, but you're not gonna like it. Are you absolutely sure that's the only way out of this? Positive. As he's taking his time to reach us, he watches the man approaching them at a leisurely pace. Make it quick. Alright, Kurama, think you can throw me some chakra? Fine, but make it quick. Suddenly Naruto's body was enveloped in orange-red chakra, giving him the strength to break the man's hold on him. Romulus's eye nearly bulged out of his head in the presence of this new chakra. Free from the electricity, he bolted toward the man with his 9 tails-infused trench knives. With his newfound strength, he slashes at the man, who somehow manages to dodge his attacks. He counters with his own chakra-infused sword, but that didn't deter the young Anbu agent. If anything, he drove him further to win this battle. Kit, I'm using my chakra to replenish yours so you can use your wind nature to slice through his sword and end this battle. Whatever takes to win, I guess. Naruto dodged his next slash before backflipping a quick way to revert to his usual chakra before infusing his wind nature. Now at time to end this, he charged at the man who brought his sword down on his, which he easily dodged before jumping overhead, slashing his neck before landing. With the man dropped dead, he went to work dispelling the electric trap and strangely found it relatively easy to do. Thanks, Kitsune. I don't know what I could have done if it wasn't for the fox. Don't mention it, but this fight proves I still have a long way to go. Same for me. And when did you get the trench knives? A week ago. A jonin from a previous mission gave them to me as a gift to better utilize my wind nature. What about your sword? I still use it as the knives are more for enclosed spaces, where the sword I use for high-speed slash attacks like assassination. Since when did you do assassination request? I haven't, but Cat trained me to use it that way as my kenjutsu skills are at best just under respectable. Yep, that's Cat for ya. Well, now we have a reward to collect when this is all over. Yes, we do. By the way, what was the reward anyway? A ranked missing ninja. I think his reward is 100,000 Ryo, to be expected for an A-rank target. Well, we better get going then. Hold it. Are you sure you can continue since we were pretty much sapped of all our chakra? I'm fine, he said, trying to stand up. But Naruto wasn't buying it since the monkey was still shaking in the legs. No, you're not. You can barely stand. We'll stay here for the night to recover our strength. Fine. It was at this time all the villagers worked up the courage to approach the two Anbu. After a somewhat lengthy conversation, The two were treated to a free room and food for the night for stopping the bandits. Flashback end. The night at that village was just what they needed to recharge their battery, as conveniently a merchant entered later that night. You had some food pills on hand. It took some convincing from the townspeople despite the protest from Naruto and Monkey. They didn't need it but ultimately failed. Hopefully, these food pills will come in handy in the future, Kitsune. I'm sure they will as we're Anbu. On that note, I have to up my training when we get back to the village. Same here. Don't want to fall for another trap like that. The rest of the trip was uneventful except for this strange feeling that washed over Naruto when they neared the land of lighting for their last stop. Later that day, Kurama told him that the feeling was from the Eight Tails. When they finally made it back to the village, it was nearing sundown. They stopped by the Hokage Tower, giving the old man their report before also claiming the reward of Romulus, split between them 50,000 ryo for each of them. This is where Naruto would have gone home, but Monkey invited him to a bar with a few other Anbu members. It wouldn't hurt to get to know his fellow Anbu members. First, they got out of their Anbu uniforms, and the agent by the name of Monkey's real name was Zeke. He had shoulder-length brown hair with a Konoha headband on with the usual ninja attire. As for Naruto, he went with his pre-Anbu outfit. Zeke led him to a restaurant in what is considered by some the red light district called Iron Rock Bar. It was built into the Hokage monument's side, allowing for a colder place to store alcohol. It was also at this time he learned Zeke was 15 years old. When they made it, they sat in a corner, giving their orders. Zeke orders a steak and grilled rice with some water. Naruto's order of ramen was trying different ramen was a hobby of his. So how long have you been in the Anbu, Zeke? He said in a hushed tone. Hey, relax, this bar is used mainly by Anbu, so no need to be discreet with that information. So, how long have you been in the Anbu? Year and a half. Really that long? So what is it like being a member for so long? Nothing much. The most significant difference between the Anbu and the regular forces, we only do B rank and above as far as a mission are concerned if it's outside the village. What about C ranks? He silently was happy he didn't have to do the dreaded D rank missions. We do C ranks on occasion when the need arises, but that only when at one Anbu agent doing it. So C ranks are solo missions for Anbu agents? Yes, anything else you'd like to ask? What about inside the village beside courier work? Mostly security along the village walls or hospital, you know, to help keep the peace. That honestly sounds a little boring. You have no idea. But it's better than nothing. It was at this time their food arrived. The two Anbu ate in comfortable silence. They were approached by what he can assume are their fellow Anbu agents plus one jonin. One had long purple hair, which Naruto deduced as Agent Cat, and the other had a metal headband that framed his face with almond-shaped eyes. And lastly, the one-eyed ninja with gray hair. Sup Yugao and Yamato and Kakashi, what brings you here? Zeke asked. We just wanted to see how our new member is faring in the Corps, Yugao said. We just got back from a mission delivering messages for the Hokage all over the land of fire, Naruto said with a sigh. Did you have any problems? Kakashi asked. We had to deal with some bandits then a missing ninja, but nothing we couldn't handle. Please tell us more, Yamato informed. Naruto and Zeke made some room for them to sit down to detail their mission outside the village. Yugao sat next to Naruto, and Kakashi and Yamato sat next to Zeke. Wow, you're pretty lucky you made it out okay, the one-eyed ninja added. You can say that again. And it served as a reminder we need to get stronger, right, Zeke? Hi was his response. So what have you guys been up to? Naruto had to ask to take the attention of him. For the next few hours, they talked about the recent mission. Kakashi talked about getting a genin squad that he proceed to fail. Yamato mentioned something about some new recruits getting training for the Corps. And Yugao talked about her date with a chunin named Hate and the latest mission on escorting caravan through the rough terrain. Seeing that it was getting late, Naruto said his goodbyes before calling it a night. The next day, luckily for Naruto, the Hokage gave him a few days off to get some training to prevent someone from getting the drop on him again. The training in question was detecting the paper bomb his clone planted in hopes of not walking into another trap. Of course, the paper bombs were low yield, so he didn't have to worry about getting hurt or anything. Using the trick Kakashi taught him, he could detect what he would say are hot spots for chakra. Why? Simple paper bombs require chakra for the explosive to go off. By concentrating his chakra webs, he could find small concentrations of chakra. Sadly, it's easier said than done because other living creatures naturally have chakra of their own. After his training period was done, he could detect smaller chakra concentrations, but it will take him some time to fine-tune it. Now he was off to get another mission from the Hokage. Standing before the Hokage in his Anbu gear, waiting for his next assignment. Ready for my next assignment, Lord Hokage. Kitsune, I'm assigning you to a week-long period to the hospital patrol. Hi, he said before heading off to the hospital. When he got there, he was sent to another Anbu in charge of hospital duty. Kitsune, you are to hide in the rafters in the ceiling and watch for any suspicious activity to prevent or stop civilian conflict posed to the staff and or its patients. Hi. His first post was the front lobby with one other Anbu agent named Hawk. He sat the watch for several hours. He had to admit he wanted some conflict since it didn't take long to grow bored with this task. Doesn't anything exciting happen here? He said to himself. Not really. Most Anbu take this time to catch up on some sleep or play games like shogi to sharpen their minds. Hawk answered. Shogi? Yes, you never played? I've heard of it from some old times but never bothered to learn. Well, you in luck. I just so happened to have board and pieces on hand, pulled out a scroll before poof, a shogi board and pieces appeared. Whoa, how did you do that? What the seal? That's Fuinjutsu or sealing. It's quite handy when you need to carry a lot of gear. Think you can show me? Maybe, but I'm not the best. I only know enough to hold my shogi board in pieces, so you want to play? I've never played before, so I don't know where to begin. Don't worry, I'll show you. For the next hour, Naruto learned the ways of the game called shogi. I'll have to get me a set of shogi to play with you guys. You can have this set. Really? Yes, I have a few other sets at home. Okay, but can you teach me how to seal it back up? Sure, but let's play a few games first. For the remainder of their shift, Naruto and Hawk played shogi, and Naruto lost every game. This is turning out to be harder than I thought, he said, scratching his head. Believe it or not, I'm not very good either, but you just happen to be a beginner, so lucky me. Naruto let out a snort at this comment. When their shift was over, Naruto Hawk met up at HQ, where he was taught the ways of sealing, or rather how to seal the shogi board in pieces. If you want to learn more about sealing or shogi, there are a few books in the library you can check out or ask around for someone to teach you. I'll keep that in mind with that. They went their separate way as tomorrow. For the remainder of the week, Naruto would be on the second floor of the hospital. 3 days later, Naruto sitting in the rafter on the first floor when a civilian managed to fight his way past the nurses because they wouldn't let him see his son. Now he had the excitement he was craving and tackles the man to the ground using his chakra-infused foot to keep the man. Calm down, Ultimer. Your son is fine. He just needs rest, and you causing a racket isn't helping, he commanded. But the man just scoffed at his word and tried to force his way up but failed as Naruto was joined by another Anbu keeping him in place. They didn't have to wait long as the nurses administer a sedative to knock him out cold. He was handed to some jonin for disciplinary action. Unfortunately, that was the only excitement Naruto got for that week. This went for 3 months on end, going to the Hokage, getting new orders anywhere from courier work to hospital details, or his now favorite guard duties for caravan carrying much-needed supplies to keep the village running. He also did a lot of training with the other team role members, increasing his strength and speed to that of a jonin. Of course the training was hell, and he learned he has a knack for few ninjutsu. His kenjutsu was brought up to a standard that made Kat Senpai proud. At this moment, he was waiting in Anbu HQ, hoping Kakiko was accepted as a member of the village's Anbu. He is pacing back and forth while Kat sat on a nearby bench, trying to calm him down. Suddenly the door opens, revealing his sister in all but blood wearing the Anbu uniform with a big smile on her face, and behind her in the Hokage holding her mask. Kakiko, this day forward as a member of the Anbu, you granted the code name Trout with this fish mask. Now everyone, let's give her an Anbu welcome. Cheers could be heard all around as they celebrated another member. Of course, the first to congratulate her was Naruto, giving her massive thumbs up. Thanks, Naruto, and I promise not to let anyone down, she said with glee. Kakiko, would you like to join Team Ro? And looks like we get to train together now. Yes, I plan on showing how far I've come. Everyone could see the fire in her eyes. It's been 3 days since Kakiko joined the Anbu. Naruto couldn't be happier to work alongside his sister, but that also scared him. It was oblivious to him knowing the risks that are in the job description. At the moment, their sparring have been for a few hours to bring Kakiko ninja skills up to speed and fast. Naruto is using his trench knives to get better equipped to them. Kakiko is using water from a jug she carries around her waist. After all, she won't have an easily accessible body of water on her missions. She had a long way to go before her skills in water style are on par with the second Hokage. They called it a day when the sun touched the horizon. Looks like we're done for the day, Kakiko. Fine. Besides, I'm reaching my limit anyway. Naruto could see the subtle shake of her leg, telling him she's exhausted. I have a mission tomorrow, so you'll have to train by yourself. Okay, want to come back to my place for the night? Sure. Kakiko did not live with Naruto since his home is meant for one person. Her place is now an Anbu apartment. Up till she joined Anbu, she's been living with the Sarutobi clan. Her apartment was about as big as Naruto's, but this one was nicer and not partly run down like his. Who are your neighbors, if you don't mind me asking, as I rarely come here with mission getting in the way? That would be Kat to my right and Anko to my left. Okay, I can see a cat being your neighbor, but why Anko? TNI not that far away. That's why, and Anko not all bad minus her dango addiction. Oh, look who we have here, a third voice rang. The two looked to the origin to see Anko in the flesh staring them down. Hi Anko, Naruto said. What is a pint-sized Anbu like you doing here? Wanted to check out my sister's new place since joining the Anbu. Since you're here, mind helping me out? No. I am not buying you, Dango. He put his arm in an X shape to illustrate his point. Oh, come on, please, it is just this once, she said with a seductive tone. This sent a shiver down the brother and sister pair at her forcefulness. Suddenly Naruto was brought into a bone-crushing hug. By who else, Cat? I will not let you corrupt my little brother Anko. Anko couldn't see it through the mask, but she could feel the smug grin on Naruto's face. Fine, I'll find someone else. I think Kurenai just got back from a mission, she shunned Shin soon after. Thanks, Nei-chan, don't know what would happen if you didn't stop her, he said. Not a problem, Naruto. Now, what are you doing here? Came to see Kakiko place since joining the Anbu. Oh well, I'd better not hold you up then. For the next few hours, Naruto hung out with Kakiko in her new apartment before heading home. When he finally made it home, he took off all his gear before collapsing on his bed for the night. But unlike most night-to-night, he has yet another stare-down with Kurama in the seal. What do you want, Kit? As I'm sure you know, my superiors have an interest in me controlling your power. But we both know you will never give it to me willingly. He was expecting some sarcastic comment but was met with silence, causing him to take a second look. Wait, you can't be considering this. Who said I was giving you anything? That's the Kurama, I know, but why the pause? You can have my power. All you have to do is undo the seal, the fox said with a smug voice. Not happening even if I had the sealing formula. Are you saying you thought about it? Beyond a thought. No, I haven't. I didn't hear you denying it. You're just like everyone else, seeing me as nothing more than a battery, he scoffed. I didn't mean it like that. I said I thought about it, but the risk outweighed the benefits since there would be nothing stopping you from going on a rampage. Sweet freedom. I can almost smell you, he said aloud, ignoring his container. Okay, restart, my superiors. I want me to control your power beyond a simple get-out-of-jail-free card when the chips are down. You have to be weak-minded to always rely on someone else's power. I was thinking the same thing really, as I'm stubborn when it comes to that. They caused both to chuckle at this. You have my attention, so what do you propose? Keep in mind this seal is separating us. I know, and because of that, when I am forced to use your power, I'm under your influence. Kurama chuckles at that. Okay, Kit, I'm starting to understand. He wouldn't admit it to him. But over the past few months, since Naruto went one tail, he slowly started to care for the boy. It was mainly because he was actively trying to communicate, trying to pry any information about him, even though it often ends in verbal fights leading to the silence between them. Good, so how should we proceed from here? I suppose it wouldn't hurt to train you in my power. At the very least I get to some quality entertainment. Seeing you and your friends try and fail, especially the old-timers. A shiver ran down his spine at the fox's comment, but he couldn't stop the chuckles from causing headaches for the village elder. From his time in the Anbu, he learned that the village elders aren't too fond of him, especially the man in bandages. So when do we start? After your mission. Just to make it clear, this isn't a handout. You're gonna have to work hard. I look forward to your misery, hee. Naruto could only sweat drops at this before going off to dreamland. The next day, when Naruto woke up, he had a pounding headache. Stupid fox, he mumbled under his breath. This headache always happened when he talks to him when he usually should be sleeping. It drains a lot of mental energy when his mind and body are supposed to be in recovery mode. He drags himself to the kitchen, making him some eggs and toast with a glass of milk before putting on his gear. He shunned to the Hokage tower. Ready for my mission, Gigi, he said on his knee, sneaking in his nickname when he can. Hiruzen had a slight chuckle. Yes, Kitsune. Your mission is to stop some bandits near a hot spring hotel near the border. Bandits have been found kidnapping women for some unknown purpose. We suspect slavery. Okay, but doesn't this seem like a mission for a regular ninja team, not Anbu? Normally you'd be corrected, but every time we send in a team, they disappear without a trace. So I'm hoping by sending in a single ninja of the Anbu, they won't notice a snake in the grass. I assume I'm doing this alone? Yes, for fear they'll catch on to us and go into hiding once more. He handed him a scroll with the location and mission detail. Hi, I'll be back as soon as I can. With those words said, he shunned to his apartment to gather supplies. He decided to leave in the dead of night not to arouse suspicion from the villagers. Word was starting to spread that Naruto was possibly a ninja, no thanks to his short stature. Others thought he finally died or left the village. They had no idea of the truth. The rumor mill was a pain when it came to him. The next day, it took the whole day and all through the night to reach his destination. He would have stopped for some rest, but he needed to training for sleep deprivation. That and Kurama reluctantly helped keep him awake, but that doesn't mean he was tired. In fact, he was nearing his limit, but fortunately, the hotel was not too far off as he could smell the hot spring. Naruto stopped just shy of leaving the tree line. He quickly changed into civilian clothing. When he finally stepped out, he was wearing black pants and sandals with an orange hoodie. He walked up to the receptionist and asked for a room. Aren't you a little young to be on your own, kid? She asked. I'm meeting up with a relative here, should be here for a few days. He held up Gamachan, quickly changing the woman's mind. Here's your room key, hope you have a nice stay here. Thank you. With the key in hand, he found his room and collapsed on the bed, intending to make up for the sleep he lost. He arrives at 8 a.m. When he finally woke up, it was 6 p.m. Time to do some recon. He put a do not disturb sign on the door, leaving a shadow clone in cases anyone who decided to ignore the warning. With his Anbu gear on, he faded into the shadows. The following day, Naruto scouted the whole village, looking for any hidden allies' rooms or spaces in the walls. Then he checked the forest to see any trails leading to and from the hotel that wasn't the main road. After checking around, he found nothing. Unfortunately, this is going to be more difficult than he thought. Maybe they have a secret tunnel? Naruto thought to himself. It would make sense, or they're just really good at covering their tracks. But unfortunately, this mission was going to take longer than he thought. Daylight started to fade. He called it a day to get some food, but before that, he sent out some shadow clones if he missed something or the slavers in question decided to move. He found his way to the restaurant section and ordered some ramen, as it was a hobby to taste new kinds. And as he expected, it wasn't as good as Ichiraku, but it was respectable in his opinion. Since this was a hot spring hotel, he might as well check out the springs. He found himself in the men's section, sinking to his nose in the water, letting all his aches and pain wash away. The warm water was great to him, as he rarely could relax since joining the Anbu. He stayed and soaked there for a good 45 minutes before calling it a night. He put his clothes back on, and just as he left the door of the men's section, he heard a scream from the women's section. Thinking this was the bandit making their move, he swung into action. When he finally made it, he didn't see any bandits, just some old guy in a red kimono laying face first on the ground with a bloody nose. A woman stood over him with a fist in hand. Great first job by myself, and I have to deal with a pervert, he said to himself. He walks over to the still bleeding form of man. Is this pervert causing you any trouble, ma'am? He was peeping on the ladies, and I managed to catch him just before I took a dip in the spring. He began poking the man, hoping to get some kind of reaction. However, it didn't take long for him to gather his wits. He shook slightly as the woman emphasized her fist before retreating to the hot spring when he finally stood up. All right, old-timer, don't you know it's rude to peep on women? I wasn't peeping. It was research. What kind of research requires peeping on women? What's your name, perv? Not that it matters. I am Jiraiya, the Toad Mountain Sage. Whatever you say, pervy sage, the sage grunted at his comment. So, what's your name, kid? Why should I tell you? He looked away from the man. Naruto, do you know who that is? What does it matter? He's a perv, and I have a mission to do. As much as it pains me to say this, he is Jiraiya, one of the 3 legendary sanin. As in former students of the 3rd Hokage, surely you know of them after being in the Anbu. Are you kidding me? He's one of them. I guess I can trust him with my identity. He holds the Toad contract, meaning you can get the sealing formula and let me free, allowing us to sow the seeds of chaos and discord. Ha ha ha. I thought we were past that. I can dream, can I? Facing the pervy sage before him. I just remember you're one of the sanin. Meaning you're a member of the Konoha. My name is Naruto Uzumaki, member of the village Anbu, Naruto informed. Jiraiya manages to hide his shocked expression as the boy before he is his godson. If he hasn't figured it out yet, he might be able to clean the bad blood between them. You and Anbu? I doubt it, kid. You want proof to follow me then? He took off into the tree lean far away from prying eyes. The old sage follows him as he needed proof to know if his godson is all talk. When he finally reached the kid, he was in his Anbu gear with the kitsune mask hanging off the side of his head. He was again dumbfounded at this. He was also slightly angry with the Hokage that he would let his godson into the Anbu Black Ops. Okay, kids, I believe you now. So why would the Hokage send a pipsqueak like you on a mission all alone? Using all his willpower to keep his anger in check, I was tasked by the Hokage to track down and eliminate bandits who have been kidnapping women around here. Really, what have you found so far, kid? Nothing. It's almost as if they have a way to cover their tracks and somehow know when we're onto them. Jiraiya started brainstorming ideas on finding them and knowing ninjas are here with a thinking pose. That's it. What? I think I know why you haven't found them yet. Okay, spill it. When I was doing my research. You mean peeping? For the last time, it's research anyway. There was no way any of my research subjects could know I was there. But somehow that woman found me. Are you saying that woman was with the bandits? Looks that way, kid, but we won't know till we find her. Then what are we waiting for? He tried to sprint back to the hotel only to be yanked back by Jiraiya. Hold it, kid, you may be Anbu, but we gotta be smart about this. For all we know, she may be innocent, but we won't know till we do some investigating. Right, sorry about that, he said, rubbing the back of his head. At least he uses that brain of his, unlike his father when he was training under me. But first, we have to find her, and no peeping for you. Fine, I assume you know the shadow clone jutsu as a member of the Anbu? Yes, how many should I create? 5 would be good. High 5 poofs of smoke later, and 5 Anbu-clad Narutos appeared. You 5 remember the women from earlier? We need to find her and make sure she isn't an enemy aiding the bandit. Dismiss. The shadow clones bolted off into different directions. What about us? He asked. While your clone looks for our target, let's head back in town to see if we can't dig up some leads. Oh, and you need to change your outfit. Naruto was in his civilian outfit with a quick change in uniform, ready to continue the mission. Let's go. The 2 ninjas headed back to the hotel. Naruto followed Jiraiya much to his dismay but didn't complain too much when they made it back. They found a spot near the bar. Naruto stayed at his table, waiting for any information his clone dug up. At the same time, Jiraiya used his skills to try and dig up information on his end. By the time 1 hour has passed, Naruto had regained the information his clones found, and to his luck, he learned of a shady man near the hot springs. When he told this to the sage, he learned there'd been some shady figure gawking around the hot springs as well. As for the woman from earlier, she is sadly in the mix of things. So, what have you learned on your end, Naruto? There's some shady individuals near the hot spring and the woman from earlier was with them, and you? Same for me now. Let's stop this bandit before any more innocent women and girls are captured. With their superior ninja skills, they faded into the shadows. They found the woman from earlier standing by herself near an ally. Ready, Naruto? Yes, pervy sage, he says with his Anbu gear on. He summons 10 clones, and on Jiraiya's mark, they descended on the duo. They quickly apprehended the man and woman before Shunned away from the hotel thanks to their superior skills. Back in his Anbu gear, he walked up to the man. Spill it. We know you're part of the bandit group. The man in question wore a dark cloak with brown pants, black boots with a gray shirt, and a sword on his side. The woman from earlier was wear a black kimono with a black shocker and dagger on her side. I said, spill it, Naruto said, having a kunai to the man's neck. Fine, we are responsible for the kidnappings. Never thought a kid and an old man catch us. the woman said with venom. Okay, little girl, why are you involved in all this? Jiraiya said fiercely, a little ticked off from the old man comment. I want to be the most beautiful woman in the world. By kidnapping other girls, I could make sure of that. Bullshit, there has to be more to it than that. Naruto put more force on the kunai, starting to draw a little blood. Fine, we sell them off for a small fortune to some missing ninja for test subjects in exchange. He would help me stay young forever. Is she telling the truth? Naruto demanded. Yes, she is. Who's the buyer? Jiraiya demanded to have a strong feeling of who it might be. Orochimaru, the woman said. I was afraid of that. Damn it. Where are the girls who haven't been sold yet? Naruto was starting to losing his patience. There is a hidden cave, half a click from here hidden by a boulder. But there are more of us there. Doubt they would let you set them free. Oh, they will? After all, I'm Jiraiya, one of the legendary sanin, he said with a slight chuckle. The two prisoners' faces paled at this revelation. Please let us go. We won't cause you any trouble, the man said in a pleading voice. Sorry, that's not how the world works. Kitsune, mind sending some clones to get the local authorities? With pleasure. Poof, 2 clones appeared before sprinting off. 5 minutes later, the local authorities and took the 2 bandits in custody. Now let's find the others, the sage stated. Hi. It didn't take them long to find the hideout, and quickly dispatched them before letting go about 10 girls and women free. The next day, Naruto woke up with the shining sun on his face, and beside him snoring loudly, was in his eyes the pervy sage, one of the legendary sanin. Old man, wake up, it's morning. 5 more minutes, he groaned. Fine. While the pervy sage was sleeping, Naruto got his gear together, preparing to leave. When Jiraiya finally got up, Naruto was in full uniform, waiting for the pervy sage to get up. What do you want, a kid? The Hokage would want me to tell him I found you, so I suggest you return to the village with me, he said politely. I suppose I have intel to deliver to him anyway. Hi. 2 days later, Naruto walked through the front gate in his Anbu gear with the pervy sage beside him. This got looks from all around him, mainly aimed at Jiraiya. They quickly made it to the Hokage tower. Naruto was the first to give his report. Just as he was about to leave, Hiruzen asked him to stay. So what is it, old man? The sanin said, getting the ear of all Anbu present. With a sinister smirk, I thought you might want to spend time with your godson Naruto. His code name is Kitsune. Silence filled the room. Then a loud noise could be heard from all over the village originating from the Hokage tower. Are you kidding me? This pervert is my godfather. And you left me be myself all these years. Do you know what had to go through? It took both Kat and Tenzo to hold Naruto back from harming the sanin. The sanin in question had a sheepish grin on his face and an evil smile for Hiruzen. Now Naruto calms down. He had his reasons. One being our spy master. His network requires most of his attention, so he would have time to do it. You're just as bad as he is. The least you could have told me was I had one when I was younger. I should have, I'm sorry. But I couldn't risk dividing his attention. But now that you're a ninja, I felt it fitted since he can now train you to make up for all the lost time. Naruto finally cooled off at this. Fine, but is Trout still in the village? Or is she on a mission? She's still in the village at the usual training ground, if I'm not mistaken. Sweet, can't wait to tell her about my mission, he shunned Shin away. Okay, who's Trout, and why is Naruto so excited about her? Wait. Does Naruto have a lady friend? He said the last part with a little too much glee. Yes, he does. She the same age, their sibling in all but blood. Go and look for yourself if you don't believe me. I might just do that, but here's what I'd gathered. And that job you sent him on, unfortunately Orochimaru was involved in it. Let me see for myself. He took the scroll from his student to read the report. With Naruto, when he finally made it, he carefully watches his sister practice her jutsu. Come on, focus. You can do this, Kakiko, she thought to herself. She was determined to be the next water jutsu master of Konoha, better than the second Hokage, using all her chakra. In quick succession, she did all the hand signs, brought forth as much water as she could. When she finally opened her eyes, she was happy and surprised to see she did it. Unfortunately, it wasn't a lot, only about enough to make one water whip. Nice job, Kakiko. I knew you could do it. She grew a massive smile as she faced her brother. Thanks, Naruto. Unfortunately, it wasn't a lot, and it took all my chakra to do so. She looked to the water whip in hand. Even so, that impressive to pull off. So, how was your mission, Naruto? It was fine, right, Naruto? A new voice said. She looks to her brother, who had a bored expression before finding the source to find a tall old guy with white hair and a red kimono outfit. Who are you?